Welcome back to the Hood Report, episode 9. Sitting with me today, as usual, we got Leif from Chutch. Leif, how you doing?
Doing well.
Also joining us once again, we got Lex from DGS.
Howdy.
A.K.A. Colin's Sick.
Colin's Sick.
And our guest of honor today, we got Griff sitting in the booth with us. Griff, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
You. How do you pronounce your last name? I've never said
It's
it before.
pronounced Frigaard.
Frigaard.
Yeah.
Griff Frigaard.
Griffin Frigaard is my name.
What's the middle name?
Kent, after my dad.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's my dad's name.
Well, welcome. Glad to have you in.
Thanks for coming in, Kent.
You've been requested, so we got a lot of questions
Stoked
people
to be
submitted
here.
for you. But before we get to that, maybe we'll keep it in pattern and just do a boarding check-in. Let's go around the table. How's the boarding been so far, Leif?
Been pretty well. Been good. Yeah. Stand up.
Yeah, it's right. I'm just hitting you with it off the bat.
Just riding at the rope toe.
He's being
Yeah.
modest. He's been boarding super hard.
Well, I kind of hurt my knee a little bit at the King of the Mountain, but so the last week I haven't been boarding very much.
Hell
but,
yeah.
Or very hard, but
he's
I've been
meeting
going.
his quota, clipping up.
Yeah, I've been filming.
the next video.
Yeah. No, you've been putting it down. I've been seeing you doing work on the quad kink.
Yeah, dude. Damn,
Yes.
getting it.
Yeah, Leif's been out there performing.
Stepping to the board slide through the quad, just like a standard warm-up.
Yeah.
Respect.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lex,
All right,
how's
real
your board
quick,
been?
we gotta address this subject. A lot of people have been calling it the double kink and the triple kink,
dude,
and I'm
don't
sick
get me
of. I'm
started.
sick of that.
Here we
shit.
go.
I'm sick of that shit.
We're going to do that. We only got 2
All right,
hours,
I'm
man.
gonna-
we
I'm-
could spend 2 hours
You know
on the
what?
debate.
We can sit
We're
here
about
and
to
talk
crash
about
out on
kinks
people
all
not
day.
calling it the quad.
All right, Leif. Oh,
All right, what is your take?
Yeah.
Quad
What's your
kink,
take?
and I'm crashing out on anyone that's not calling it that.
Yeah, okay. So Connor and I have been getting into this a
Yes.
lot lately, and he likes to count the downs, which I think that's probably the most annoying take out of like my opinion on the whole thing. Like you either count the flats as kinks or you count the kinks.
I see both sides of it because like I see where Connor's coming from
That's a
because
skater's way.
we always had the down flat down that we called Francis at Timberline.
Right,
So that's
yeah.
down flat down. That's our first version of any kink trail. So that's what we think of.
Right.
And then they would do Super Francis, which
Yeah.
is the down flat down, and then one more flat down.
But would you call that a double kink?
We called it a triple kink because we're like, yo, double kink, and then they're adding one more, so it's like a triple kink. So that's where, in my opinion, the triple kink controversy began. But now I've come around to the school of thought of counting each elbow of the rail as its individual kink, giving us the quad kink that we have
That by
on
definition
skee-ball right
that
now.
is what it
Mathematically,
is.
that makes sense to my
Yeah.
brain.
A bend in the rail.
But then, like, you could make the case, like Connor always makes the case, like that's like.
So a
the
donkey
nerd way.
would be a kink.
Well, that's where it gets
Ah.
weird. Like a donkey is a kink rail. Like if you're hitting
Down
a donkey
flat
in the street,
down
you would
to
call that-
donkey
you
would be a
call that
triple kink.
rail.
Are we getting into
Down
asterisk
flat
at this
down
point?
to-
Down flat down
To donkey
and
would
then
be
a donkey.
3 kinks. Yeah, there'd be 3.
by definition would be a triple kink.
Yeah,
Last year
but
we
But you wouldn't call it.
last year we
But
ran
then-
a down flat down, and then we ran the flat down.
Okay.
That's a triple kink. We ran the down flat down to the flat down square bar.
Yeah,
I would
so
say
wait,
that's
say-
a
say
true
that
At
He's
what
triple
point?
kink.
Yeah.
At what point? Here's a side note. At what point is a donkey considered a flat? At what point is it no longer a down
Well, what
flat
if it's
down
a
to
flat
donkey?
down, like a flat
what is
down
it?
isn't a kink
You know?
rail. That's a big argument. Is like
How long
the flat-
is
you
the
wouldn't
donkey
call a
dick?
Flat down. a kink
Exactly.
rail.
I think it comes out to like measuring of the dick.
How long?
What's
is
the
that?
Webster definition for a standard donkey dick length?
Well,
Hey Google.
all right. Well, the skinny one at Timberline is really short, and I like that one actually. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
yeah.
No, I know which one you're talking about. That
the OG like long,
a
skinny,
satisfying donkey
long
dick.
skinny dick.
Short.
Short, short,
Short.
skinny dick.
All right.
But
Well,
satisfying.
sorry we had to start out on that.
Yeah.
note,
Hey,
but,
we're getting to the.
You know
did
what,
we
though?
get to
Can
the
I-
bottom
can I
of
settle-
anything?
Can I settle it? Can I settle this?
Yeah, settle
just,
it.
Just
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
quad, that rail in particular, I think you call it the quad because Hunter calls it the quad, and Hunter built the rail.
Okay.
So whatever the person who built the rail, I'm gonna call it what he calls
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
because
fair.
I mean he welded all those kinks. So if he counts 4, there's 4.
There you go.
Like,
While we're on the debate, okay, we'll settle it there.
That's
Hunter,
how I
we'll go
feel.
by what Hunter says.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
calls it the quad, so and it rolls off the tongue nicely. So
I've
you
been
know.
calling it the big one because
big one.
I don't want any ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So what about the Batwing box? Because growing up at the ski bowl, we all called it the mustache box, and recently I heard it called the unbow Like
Yeah.
The what?
instead of a rainbow,
I've heard
it's
people
the
call it.
unbow.
I've heard people call it.
And then when like Casey and CJ showed up
Yeah.
and like started being up there more at the toe, and Batwing came around.
Yeah.
I believe that's the origin of when it started becoming the Batwing box.
I'll tell you where that came from.
Oh,
actually.
here we
So
go.
Yeah.
Aaron Kaiser
A little lore.
is the reason why it's called the Batwing box.
Okay.
And he came up with the name because he says it looks like the bat from Batman. Like,
It makes sense.
like the Batwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
I've
actually-
adapted.
yeah.
I call it the Batwing now because I'm like, you know what?
I like
Everyone
it too
calls it
because
that,
I
and it
like
kind of makes
Batwing,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Batwing is also the homies company.
Yeah,
so-
pay
Yeah,
homage
no,
to
I see it.
Yeah.
It
Not
changed,
like
but
local.
I'm down with it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
cool.
the Batwing.
That's cool with
The
it.
name the Batwing is sick. I mean, but yeah, it's all because of Kaiser. Kaiser started calling it that, I think, in like 2018 or something, and it's been ever since.
That's just
then,
what it
that's
is.
what everybody's called
But
it.
Batwing,
The
the
Batwing
company,
box.
isn't.
No, the company actually
That's
started
two
in like
separate things,
2020.
right?
Yeah, but that's a whole nother story.
We have the Batwing board over your right shoulder there.
Yeah.
Which he's featured on the graphic. We might pour into that.
Hell
later,
yeah.
Santa, but all right, let's roll through it. Hood news. What went
Wait,
down?
you didn't ask them
oh,
how
yeah.
their boarding has been.
We don't care.
I'm
I just
retired.
want to know about your boarding.
It's
All about you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
We've been boarding.
Yeah.
It's been
Go with
good.
that.
I saw you at the rope tow last night.
Yeah, sick.
And it started raining, and everyone
I
was
got the
like,
fuck
you
out
know
of
what?
there.
Let's
It was
go.
good.
I actually watched all you guys while I was in the Starlight, and it was pretty funny. I was sitting there with Nick Joyce, and we were watching one by one. Like, you walked up, and then you walked up, and then like a couple more homies left, and we were like, "Damn, everybody's leaving!" And then it cleared up. Like,
Oh, damn.
Perfect.
yeah,
Of course.
Like after, you know, of
We
course.
know it's gonna be really nice today, so we're kind of saving it.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
kind of
it's
sick
gonna be
to that be at the beer stoop and kind of just watch everybody. Mm-hmm. Man, I was
love
having a
that.
good time up there.
It's good windows.
Dude, it's like free TV.
Yeah.
You been riding much, or just kind of cruising around, keeping track of everyone in Govey?
Yeah, just retired. That's about it. That's
Your
about
board
it.
got stolen, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, technically, like Nick Joyce was borrowing it because it was like one of the samples, and
You got
yeah.
stolen from Ski Bowl?
No, fucking someone went into the summits and stole like 3 boards. Just like racked them all up out of Justin's house.
Damn.
That
Right,
happened
right from the
two
front
nights
porch
ago?
of the summits, like 2 nights ago.
Dude,
2
you
nights
gotta
ago,
watch
yeah.
out.
PSA, stolen
Yeah, you got
boards.
any-
Yeah.
you
Be
got
on the
any
lookout.
leads?
Nope, nothing. But yeah, that board right there, it's a 155. It's
What
only one
an
of one.
idiot.
So if you see anyone riding that board
Yeah.
at all, sucker punch them.
Yeah, and if you get
Don't ask questions. Throw
you
hands
get the
first,
board
then
back-
ask questions
yeah.
later.
if you get the board back, I'll give you a free one.
Dude,
So
there we
that's
go.
that's the bounty right now.
Yeah, that's sick.
So
Put a bounty on
fuck.
their head.
Yeah, there's a Dinosaurs Will Die Dario with like Team Union bindings / Happy, I think Happy Place with all the fucking crazy faces on it, and then the DGS one. So
Damn.
No bueno.
People
That's
suck.
Yeah.
whack.
He'll
Yeah,
probably show up at Bachelor or
Do
something,
not
some
steal
out of towner.
snowboards.
yeah,
Yeah.
special place in hell for that one.
Yeah, for real.
Especially from employees. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, they need that for work.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Griff, how's your riding been?
It's been all right. I've been actually kind of dealing with
Slaving away at the work
some,
at the rope tow, or
I was dealing with some back problems for a little while. I've been feeling better actually the last
yeah.
week or so. I've been boarding a lot, but I was kind of taking it easy for a while because I was just sore from.
just like a flare up, or what?
Yeah, I had like a herniated disc a couple years ago, and I was dealing with sciatica, which really sucks. And I don't know, it lasted like the majority of a winter. My last winter, I was
Damn.
living in Salt Lake, and then I came back out here to coach for the summer, and I started doing cold plunges actually, and that like fixed it. But,
Respect.
yeah, now I just have to stay on that like regular.
Just doing that at the
regimen.
house, or you jumping
Yeah.
in the river?
Yeah, jumping in the river. I do it every day.
Fucking A.
I did it this morning actually.
So it's like right,
Respect.
is that
Damn,
right when
you're-
you wake up.
You're
Yeah.
catching me
Boom.
feeling soft. I got into that last
How
year,
long
and
do you go in
I need to
for?
get more consistent
I
again.
go in for like 5 minutes usually.
Holy shit.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Respect.
I try to do like 5 minutes and then I dunk. Sometimes I do a little less than that, or I don't dunk. But I didn't
Oh.
dunk today.
That's gnarly. I'll go out there, and my little deal with myself is like, I'll be like, okay, I just gotta get a rock from the bottom,
That's a good one.
and then
yeah,
you
that's
know,
a sick one.
but I'm in and out in like 2 seconds.
I gotta like sit in there until I feel numb, like till I'm not cold anymore.
Yeah.
Because then my back.
You've broken
doesn't
through a
hurt.
couple panic
Yeah,
walls.
but then it's like all the inflammation goes down and it just doesn't hurt anymore.
Damn.
But I'll wake up and like be sore as.
I have noticed all the amazing rail riders at the bowl. You know, yourself, Andy, Connor. They're all into the ice bath routine,
that
so
water,
might
man.
be a
Why,
secret.
how'd you get into it?
It was because of the back thing, actually.
But did you see another snowboarder doing it, or?
I mean,
I know Phil Hansen's big on it.
actually, if anybody kind of put me onto it, it was Mozzie. Like the summer before that, we were living at my parents' house. My camp like rented the house for us, and he was getting in the creek a bunch. And I was always like, man, I want to do that, but I like can't. Like as soon as I get in, my ankles are so cold, I like can't do it. But the trick is you got to get to your waist at least, and then once you get past your waist, I feel like you can kind of acclimate. And
You got to get past the balls. That's the real.
That's the hard part.
Once the organs are in, you're committed.
But yeah, I get to like right there or so,
Yeah.
and just get my whole back in there, and yeah, it pretty much fixed it. But it wasn't like I got into it thinking it was gonna make it go away. I just started doing it because I was so sore, and I was like, I need this, and then like slowly over that summer, I was like doing board slides and 50-50s, teaching the kids like kind of just fighting through the pain, and then one day it just went away.
I finally
was like,
relaxed enough.
I did a board slide, popped out, and I was like, damn, that didn't hurt at all. Like, I'm good.
We're here.
And yeah, so now it's kind of just like if I work too much and like don't really stay on the cold water thing, it'll flare back up. But as long as I take care of myself, it's all good.
You think Mozzie's still on the cold plunges? Is he a daily cold plunger? Mike Carmazzi.
No, I don't think right now. But when he's
summer?
in the summer, yeah, he's a daily for sure. We all are in the summer.
Yeah, shout out Mozzie.
Yeah, shout out Mozzie, shout out Oscar, shout out to Mount Hood Summer Ski
I
Camp.
feel called out now. When we get done, I'm gonna leave this place. I'm gonna go get my rock out.
Dude, yeah, go get a rock. That would be.
Not trying to be soft today, damn.
You'll ride way better.
I just
if
want
you
to
do.
nose press the quad.
Yeah. Gotta swim to the bottom. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you about it at skee bowl if you did it.
All right,
or not.
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
we
I
need the
look,
proof.
if I look all tight and cold, you'll know I did it.
What do you do after the ice bath? Do you go take a shower, or you just
I
go
just
on with your life, or
get
what?
on with the day.
They say that's better. It's like if your body naturally warms up.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, that's part of it. It's like temperature regulation.
Like, is there
but
anything you have to bring with you?
I just
Hot-
like I go outside, like shirtless with my headphones on, smoke a spliff in the
Of
creek.
course.
Yeah, I smoke a spliff and then I get back out, dry off and throw my like snowboard pants on.
Have you got any feedback from the neighbors?
Dude, a couple times. So there's this one. I have a super sick neighbor. His name's Dennis. He's an old guy. If you ever see him around town, I'll introduce you to him.
Yeah,
But,
hell yeah.
He's really cool. But he always has something to say. Every time he sees me, it's really funny. He'll come out and be like, "Oh, you'll see your balls next week then, huh?" and I'm always just like, "Yeah."
What's up, Dennis?
Yeah, but no, he loves it though. He like comes and hangs out down by the creek. I kind of like dammed it up and made like a little patio down there, so
Oh, sick.
he likes to hang out.
Yeah, dude, drop
And,
the pin.
Yeah,
tight.
yeah, you'll have to come check it out when the snow melts. But
Dude,
I've been getting in there though. It's kind of hard with the snow. You gotta
Yeah.
like crawl down in there. But
Yeah, that's sick. That's so sick.
That is
Yeah.
wild.
Some extra points if there's snow out there for the
yeah,
the
just so
mental
you
side of
knock some
things.
in the water too, and
Yeah.
it's like swirling around. That's pretty sick.
It probably makes
It's fucking gnarly.
it probably helps build the tolerance up to where when you're soaking wet and cold at the toe and working, you're like, you know what, this isn't
This
the
ain't even
coldest,
that bad.
wettest part of my day. Yeah.
No, it definitely makes you stronger for sure. Like just with regulating your body's temperature, and like there's a whole bunch of benefits
Yeah.
to the cold water.
Did you do
but
like stretching too for your
calmness.
back, or like just the water thing?
I tried to do as much stretching as I can. I'm the worst with stretching,
Yeah.
dude. I've never been a stretcher in my life. I've always just kind of gone straight into it. But
Tony Hawk doesn't stretch.
Lex, have you ever cold plunged? I've never done
Dude,
it.
fuck no. I hate cold water.
Maybe we have
Probably
to.
more,
Maybe we have to do it.
more than
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Dude,
No,
come
I'm
to
a
the
warm-
house. I got
I'm
a
a
good
warm
spot in the
water
house.
guy.
You guys
Oh,
are welcome.
dude, I just hate water in general.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Morgan,
I don't fuck with it.
I
I'm a
wrote
warm
Morgan
water.
into doing it every now and then.
Oh.
It's always like, I don't want to do it, or like she wants to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
The
yeah, I've
commitment
watched
is a
people go
lot.
through that
Yeah.
battle of like, fuck, I really don't want to do this, and then as soon as you do it, it's like this 180 degrees of like, oh my god, I can't believe like I'm so happy I did that.
yeah,
Like,
that's actually one of the things that they say about it is like it grows a part of your brain where like you do things that you don't want to do.
yeah,
And-
that button. You develop
yeah.
that button, and it gets easier to hit.
And it's good practice. Like if I do that every day, I definitely feel better.
I think I'd rather drink my own pee.
Hey, as long as you're doing something you don't want to do, I guess.
Are we an official podcast now? We talked about cold plunge.
Yeah, we are
Fuck
fully
yeah.
immersed.
We're
in
out
the,
here.
dude. I was talking.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah. We're podcasting, talking about cold
Podcast bro
plunges.
bras.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, moving on down the line.
Plunges and
Respect to
kinks.
Griff. What do we got going on? Local hood news. Sandwich boards are dropping this Friday. Pick yourself up a Chutch sandwich
There we
collab.
go.
Dude, is that you on the graphic?
Yeah, it's
me and
That's a
Magic
picture
Johnson.
of you and Magic Johnson. I didn't realize that. Morgan pointed out the other night. She's like, that's
Dude,
Leif. I'm
that
like,
is-
no way. That's just a stock photo of Magic Johnson. And I looked at him like, that is
I
Leif.
met him
No.
when I was 16 or 17.
That's so
Damn.
good.
Dude, that photo's been on a bunch of shit. I feel
Yeah.
like over the years, it's so good. It's
late
like
to the party,
the
but I
most
love it.
perfect snowboard.
Yeah.
Man.
What sizes are we looking at?
There's 153 and 158 wide.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
158 wide. That's a big boy.
I made a couple rare hats
I might-
too
I
for
might
the first
get
couple
that for a
people that
pound.
buy
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I saw that.
I actually heard, we'll shout him out, Wook Dabs. Alex already bought a board, so he's
Okay.
already claimed one of the hats.
What's
Nice.
what's the MSP on these things?
Yeah.
I think it's probably 420 or
Yeah.
4 something.
420 and
Appropriate.
69 cents.
426.
Might be a little bit
The
more.
same amount of money that you could win at the DGS King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the Hood Report and
Whoop, whoop.
DGS. I still need to give you the $20.69.
We'll get there. We'll get there
I'll hit
eventually.
you a Venmo today.
Well, hopefully you guys
But-
win and you can just save $20.
And we're gonna give it all to Andy.
There it is.
MVP. We'll get to it.
Definitely.
Where can we pick up one of these Chutch boards?
I think you can DM Sandwich69 on Instagram or sandwich.bigcartel.com.
Sick.
believe.
And he's doing a bunch of other ones too.
Yeah, there's
right?
a full
there's
lineup
10,
dropping.
10 different graphics, I think.
Damn, how the
Something
that's
like that,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, he's cranking them out, man.
Holy
The
shit.
dude, the
There's so
graphics.
many good
yeah,
ones.
the graphics
I'm
of this
stoked.
drop are
I'm
insane.
stoked that he has a little bit smaller size too. There's been a couple people that hit me up that they like the 153.
Yeah,
53.
he's
Sick.
been missing the mark on that.
Yeah,
for
because
a
there's
while.
only been a 156.9, so
Yeah,
that's a lot of that fits.
I mean, there's a lot of
people
people that will buy boards that haven't. I feel like because
yeah,
of that.
yeah, a little smaller.
Yeah.
Some controversial graphics, keeping it
Oh
on
yeah,
brand.
dude.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. There's some really good
The honey
ones.
one's pretty sick.
The honey pack one is insane, dude.
I have an old man's perspective here. You know, I see things kind of from a parent's perspective and whatnot.
Oh,
We got young girls
Jesus.
in the family, and I got ladies in my life. So I don't know if I need to sexualize the ladies on the board.
You're not gonna ride the
I'm
ride.
pro
mean,
hood
board.
girls,
I mean, I'm pro all that as well.
and I know that. I think that Kaiser's pro all that too. I think he's just like trying to
It's
clown
just funny
everyone. It's
stuff.
Well,
it's
yeah,
definitely
it's
just-
also like
But
I mean,
we got hit both sides. Maybe we'll have like a dong board for the next one or something.
All right, DJ's dick.
snowboarding needs. I think like just overall like it used
We'll have to get his take
they
on it.
used
I'm
to
not
do
trying
that.
to trash talk.
They used to do that a lot more, you know, like and it's probably good that we don't do it as much, but I think like paying homage to that time in snowboarding too when it was like
That 90s when
Keep that
graphics
shit
and
going.
like I
riders
mean you
were-
look at like the ceiling of Charlie's, dude, like
Yeah.
some of those old ads they used
yeah.
to do, it's crazy. Like if you think like nowadays things are sexualized, like
Dude, that
back
shit-
then it was
yeah.
crazy.
To
So-
play devil's advocate, I've also heard conversations about people being upset about the posters on
yeah,
the ceiling of
yeah,
Charlie.
I totally
It's
have,
good fun.
I've heard
Yeah.
that as well.
Cover
good
both
fun.
sides.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah,
Right?
No, that's. I
It's
think
a
that's the
joke.
point. Is like it's all a joke. It's all
Yeah.
a joke.
yeah,
So
it's a joke.
I don't know. I feel like we had to mention it.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
I'm
Friday.
excited for the boards to come out. I'm stoked to
Yeah.
pick up one of the Chutch ones.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be sick.
yeah.
Is there like a super limited amount of the Chutch ones, or
I don't know the numbers of them, but
Okay.
it's probably only 10 or 20 of them.
fuck?
You can
Gotta
always
start
make
saving.
more though.
You know what they need to do
I think there's
to,
no-
There'll be another drop,
Another
right?
drop with some modified graphics.
to counter the Riley one? You need to have one like a DGS one. That's what's the homie that was a calendar photo?
Oh, Will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, you need to have like
a will board.
No,
for,
you
in,
should
the-
make a
in the
Ron
lady
Jeremy board.
sizes. In the lady sizes, you need a will board.
Yeah.
You need a Johnny Sins board.
Yeah, Johnny Sins board.
get it.
Oh my god, dude, that would be
Or
insane.
Sandwich should make
I
that.
just
Yeah, no, there you
The
go.
ladies.
Just
Yeah.
lady sizes, yeah.
Yeah, the
Gotta
Johnny
cover,
Sins
cover the full
board.
spectrum, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. Then everybody's laughing.
Yeah,
Johnny
it's
Sins
all
third
tongue in cheek.
base.
Yeah, it's a joke for everyone.
All right. Well, sick. We're looking forward to that. We also have Friday just released their new graphics for this upcoming year. Those are looking hot. Pre-order on that will be released here shortly. What about the DGS pre-order? Everyone's coming out with boards right now.
Sometime, I don't know.
What? It's the one that we can see here
Yeah.
on camera,
Yeah,
right?
that one. Yeah, 155.
Camber.
Are you gonna do
When
the camper
can I
run?
buy it?
Yeah, camera for sure.
I've been riding Lexus board for about 2 months, and it is great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, everyone was like, dude, make a camber, and I don't like camber.
Yeah, we were roasting you about it on the podcast.
Yeah, it was great. And
You're gonna get good sales.
Yeah, and I stupidly didn't. My sample's a flat, and I should have done camber just to try it because I'm sure I'd love it. So we'll see.
Yeah, you should have.
When do we
Next
have
year.
a date?
Nah,
No,
whenever
soon,
I feel
sometime.
like it. Maybe next week.
How's the website been?
It's good. It's pumping. Just dropped.
DieGubbyscum.com.
Yeah.
Pick up some merch.
Yeah.
DieGubbyscum.com, dude.
Yeah.
I called
Congrats.
the hotline for the first time recently, and that is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, come on. I need some more calls on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Run
We
up.
need some submissions for some Gubby lore too. It's been
Yeah.
dry lately. I haven't really been asking people as much, but I've been
What's the
trying to reach out
hotline
to
number
people.
again?
188 DieGubbyscum, right?
Yep.
1855 DieGubbyscum.
1855 DieGubbyscum.
Yeah.
Give it a call.
It's real, dude. I swear. to
It's
God.
real, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Everyone's like, that's not real. I'm like, no, I pay fucking $30 a month, dude.
$30 a month,
I'm like,
dude.
someone
Hell
call-
yeah! I
someone
heard it
call
was
that,
like.
please.
I feel like somebody said it was only like $1 or
Oh,
something.
fuck, no,
That's
it's 30.
That's dope.
I got the premium.
Oh yeah,
That's
we got to
dope.
spread. That's sick that you don't even like. It's just for your own enjoyment mostly
yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's not like you really promote it anywhere.
That's pretty much
we
all
talk
the
about it
DJS
on
shit.
here.
If I
but-
laugh at it, that's what I'm
Man,
doing.
that's awesome.
If I don't mind you asking, how much do you pay for the website?
I got Big Cartel, and I think it's like 20 a month.
So it's
30?
cheaper for the website
Yeah,
than the phone
fucking
number.
phone. Yeah.
Go
So-
figure.
Hell
That's
yeah.
sick. That's
But now I
art.
started, I can't I don't know. It hasn't really been ringing too much, so I'm like,
Send your calls.
Do you guys
in.
remember on Viceland where like people would call in and on like, and then it would just be like a random waiting screen. It'd be people calling into Viceland with just like random ass
Just,
like
yeah, random
stories and
messages
shit.
and
We should
shit.
do some stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of on topic, and this will lead into what I want to talk about, which is the DGS event. For our edit for the King of the Mountain,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it look like parody, like a King of the Road episode,
Sick.
as
Yeah.
much as possible.
Hell
fuck
yeah.
And there's like the intro song where it's or the very intro where Andy Roy is reading off like the disclaimer.
Yeah.
And there's some music in the background. I can't fucking find the music that's playing in there. It's been driving me crazy. I
Try to,
spent
like,
4 hours of my life trying to find
You
this online.
Spotify it
Yeah,
or
you
whatever?
Can't
use
Shazam because
Shazam.
he's talking through it, so you can't pick it up. And anyways, I finally found the person that edited the
No
episodes.
way.
Got their email, him with
What
the email.
the fuck?
And was like, explain the whole situation. They hit me back and they're like actually excited that we're like
What?
trying
awesome.
to parody their stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. They're like, I'm not the one that did the editing. It was given to me as a package, but the one that edited is blah, blah, blah. Here's their contact. Also,
Wow.
I think it's all just
Wow.
like stock music that we use at Vice. Here's the library that we pulled from. Feel free to dig through there. I hope you find it. They're like all
Wow.
excited
That's
about
You
it.
so
get the
helpful.
MVP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
holy
holy
shit.
shit! I can't believe that like they responded and
Yeah.
like it's kind of become this fun like decoder ring mystery of trying to find this 2-second fucking soundbite that's driving me crazy.
That's
I
dude,
cannot wait to
respect,
see
man.
that.
We
That's
still gotta
crazy.
find
Just
that
mad nerding
Ski Bowl
out.
Radio
Yeah,
soundbite.
Ski Bowl
If
Radio.
anybody can
Oh,
find
true.
that,
That's a good one.
we need that.
You could probably just like record it and then just have the file or something.
Yeah, I mean, even if we did like if we got somebody to make one that was like
Just ripped it off.
like
basically.
the Trap Stars ones or whatever.
I feel like Lex could do a good one. Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah.
Ooh, dude, that's pretty good.
I got recorded.
Yeah,
Ski Bowl Radio.
yeah.
Fucking A.
We need to make a bootleg Ski Bowl Radio.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we just had the DGS King of the Mountain event just happened. The inaugural.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Inaugural. The first one.
The egg
It was
roll,
great.
whatever
Yeah.
you call it.
First pancake. Ended up
Yeah.
being pretty kick-ass. Like, it was definitely like leading up to it. We were a little worried. We're like, I don't know if a lot of people are going to sign up or do
Yeah.
it. We talked about it on the last episode. If you're wondering what it is, tune in, and check that out. We run through how the event, like the rules and all that shit. But it ended up being a great time because, like,
It was chaos.
dude, the weather right beforehand. There was like a tornado warning the day beforehand down around Portland area and where I live in the country. 60-mile-per-hour winds,
Sick.
Power went out,
Sick.
torrential atmospheric river.
Atmospheric river. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd never
is what
heard
they
that term
said.
before.
It didn't snow on the mountain. It was just piss and rain.
Yeah.
And then it switched to snow like overnight, and all of the resorts were closed because of the wind.
Yeah.
I messaged Lex the morning of. I'm like, are
Except
we
Ski
still?
Bowl.
Well, they
yeah,
didn't
we are
announce
not
that
cowards
yet.
at Ski Bowl. we stayed open.
But the morning of, it looked like
Coward.
it looked like the end of days in town. To where I messaged Lex, I'm like, "Are we still doing this today? Like, should we push it?" And he's like, "It's still on." So everyone shows up. It ended up being a beautiful day in government camp.
was sick.
The storm broke. It was just clear and cloudy, like off and on. 6 inches of fresh snow on the ground.
Yep.
None of the resorts were open, so it was super quiet in town. It was literally just the people doing the Die Govy Scum event, probably like 30 or 40 of us,
Yeah.
in government camp running around like freaking little gnomes
Yeah.
doing these events.
Yeah,
It was
it was
it would
sick.
end up being the perfect storm. It was a great time.
Yeah, Govey had a snow day for everybody. Kind of felt like, you know when you like have a snow day at school and you're like,
Yeah, that's what it looked like in the street for sure.
Yeah.
That was
How many teams were there? Do you know?
I think 9 or 10.
That's a lot.
It was
two,
pretty good.
two are like a hybrid team, so they don't count.
Okay.
Sorry, a group of friends and Josh or whatever.
But they were
hybrid
on-
teams don't
Shout out to
fly.
everyone
that
that
was
showed
in
up.
the-
It was
oh,
a great
Because they
time.
were
Skiers,
skiers and
snowboard.
snowboarders.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were still doing the challenge.
No, they were killing
It
it.
must be
I'm just
segregated.
giving them.
They're not going to win anything.
No,
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
Chicken-
actually, I got a special prize. For
Oh,
them, so.
okay.
It kicked off like pretty energetically. Everyone met at the OT hut. You passed out the booklets, read
Yeah.
off the rules, and then 10 a.m. sharp,
Andy's
was
just
jumping
fucking
off of the roof.
Dude, that
And
clip
someone
was
poured
insane.
piss on the ground. He was landing in piss with
Yeah.
a spliff in his mouth. Never
Yeah.
lost a spliff. You'll
And
see the footage. It
Then
was
you look
nuts.
to the right, and like Nick's just eating dog food.
It was chaos right
And
off the bat.
then, all the hood girls, their boards got stolen and got put in JoJo's car, so they're like ripping into his car.
Dude, I didn't
fucking
realize what was
awesome.
happening, and my board got stolen at first, and I thought that my board just got stolen. I didn't realize it was one of the events, and I was like kind of getting heated. I was
Yeah.
like, who the fuck took my board, you know? And then I realized what was going on.
Yeah, no, I was really hyped that I put that one in there.
That's a good one.
Even at
Yeah.
the yard, dude, people are like,
Yeah, I think
How many
my-
times did
my
your board get
got
stolen?
hidden. My board got hidden at the yard for
Yeah?
a second.
Sick.
Mine and Pepe's.
I think
Hell
mine got
yeah.
stolen like 6 different times throughout the day.
Okay, I think it was
That's
on
a sick one. We used to do that to each other at work. Like,
yeah.
and it's awesome. It used to always at Woodward. It was like our helmets because you had to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
And yeah, they would fuck with me so bad. Like, they'd put it like
In the rafters or
Yeah,
some
like in
shit.
the pump house, like up on a pipe, like where I have to like find a ladder
Yeah.
and do a whole like.
The Indiana Jones. That
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, Indiana Jones, that shit.
Is that Woodward Salt Lake?
Yeah, that was.
Any challenges you want to add for next year that you want to release now?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
It,
just have to wait
honestly,
for
the
next
book
year.
is like.
It was a
You
good.
guys did it. Like you felt like
The book's pretty good.
more?
I definitely. I think that take it or leave it. I think it would be sick to make it like a weekend event or like a 3-day event
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
more,
that's a good idea.
like way
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
you know,
I don't know. I
like
kind of like the one day because
one day added to the chaos.
just
But if
one
the
day.
it was sick because the resorts were closed.
Yeah.
and it ended up
with
being this
multiple
really unique
resorts, they
special
might
day.
want a day or two.
Yeah, if the resorts were open, maybe a couple days.
Dude, but no, I feel like if the resorts were open, it'd have to be like one day because if the resorts were open,
Yeah.
like if Timberline was open, I feel like we were even talking about that there was a conspiracy and they closed
Yeah.
because of the event.
Good, I hope so.
because because
Sorry, Jeff.
Well, I mean, who knows what would have happened up there? You know?
Honestly, I'm glad fucking Timberline was
What
closed.
challenges?
It ended
What
up being
challenges did you have
perfect.
to remove from Timberline?
The Day Lodge rail. I wanted to take that.
They
one.
didn't want that. They didn't want.
No,
or you.
because you
I-
put
I
them in the
just-
book and then they contacted you and said you can't have this one.
No, it was a different situation. Like
Okay.
one of the homies like had this thing going on, and she's like, "Don't fuck with my stuff." Like,
Oh, that's right. I remember
Because they
hearing
were
that.
shooting a movie up there too at
yeah.
the same time.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, I was like, "Oh, I'm not trying to fuck with your shit,"
Okay,
but
that's
yeah.
respectable.
Which could have gone the other direction and said, let's have some challenges involving
I
the movie.
I definitely wanted to do that, but
Oh
I
my God,
also
dude,
want to
yeah.
keep my housing. So
Oh, true, yeah.
if I wasn't tied to
Don't
Timberline,
shit
yeah.
where you eat.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a great time.
Dude,
It ended up being King of the Road on snow
Yeah.
in a condensed 12-hour
It was-
version,
dude,
which
it was
is exactly
perfect.
what you want. At one point, I was strapping in, standing on top of the Glacier House roof, getting ready to gibbet with Andy and Pepe. And I look across
Yeah.
Gubby, and I see someone else jumping off of the
OT hut.
another roof. Yeah, the
Yeah.
OT hut. I see the golf cart going through town, just like someone sketching behind. I see someone else stealing someone else's board, running around. Like
Yeah.
it was chaos
Oh,
in
and
the
then
streets of town in the best
car
of
drives
ways.
by with the fucking kink rail.
Yeah,
that they fucking
yeah,
stole.
right
Dude,
away.
that
like
was a sick one,
We're
yeah.
all like, okay, well,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the yard to get clips. Fuck it, like that's the only place we can
Yeah.
go. And then we see the rails from the yard driving through town. Someone to sabotage everyone else. Someone stole the rail. It
Dude,
was
I was
great.
hyped. And then someone fucking put wood screws in one of
I
the rails.
saw that too. That was sick.
Just so like I guess they probably
That
hit
was
it.
challenge,
diabolical
just
move.
sabotage the
Yeah,
feature,
sabotage
right?
the
Yeah.
feature, and yeah, I was like, holy shit, people are going hard on this thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's dope.
Leif kick flipped in snowboard boots.
I love.
Yeah.
snapped a board.
Yeah,
Or who snapped a board?
He snapped his board.
Sick. Fuck yeah.
Fucking Andy got Baker Maker on the Best Western rail. Spoiler alert.
Oh damn, you let that out? Okay, yeah. there it
I mean,
is.
by the time this
You heard
comes
it here
out,
first.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, when's the when are the edits due?
Okay. I think like I don't know, next week. I think 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks from
The actual
the
event.
actual event, and then I have 2 weeks basically to put them all together. And then on the 31st at Beer Soup at
So this might come out before.
Yeah, this will come out before, but I mean, it's like
I'll
it's
just tell you
what's
now.
done is done.
I think we're closed that day at Ski Bowl.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Might want to look at that date.
God damn it, Josh.
Because after March 30th, I think it's weekends only.
Maybe
They
on the
usually
schedule.
do that, but we'll see.
Could you pull it back
See
one
what
day?
happens.
Oh, yeah,
Just keep it in mind.
We're gonna
Yeah.
try.
We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
hopefully we can go
Worst
7
case,
days.
I found a projector, and we'll just fucking
Stay
put it
tuned,
on
everyone.
Baltimore.
So for those that don't know and didn't participate, everyone has 2 weeks to make an edit from the
Yeah.
day, and then we're going to have a big party where we're going to get together, watch all the edits,
Yeah, it's gonna be
rack
fun.
up all the points from the day, and give awards out. It's going to be a
And
great time.
live
and
music.
We'll keep those dates to come.
Got some bands coming in.
Feeling good about Team Hood Report. I think we had a good showing.
I think you guys
Well,
did too.
I don't know if it's in the bag because there was some big.
There's some tattoos
Everyone else-
and
yeah, there's some after hours
haircuts
shit.
and,
I gotta give a shout out to Andy Glatter because I
Oh.
know that he's the only one that did this. Everybody was giving out tips respectfully, but Andy tipped me $20, $21 actually.
I gotta get you that clip.
Yeah,
Fucking
so
yeah.
we can put
Shout
that
out
in
to Ski Bowl Rope Tow being the only resort that opened that day. The perfect day even got better because
Yeah.
at the end of it, the tow opened and everyone just like kind of stayed in this
Migrated.
bubble. It was I can't explain.
The funny
how
thing
good
is
of a
the
day it
toe
It was
was
so
open,
awesome.
but nobody knew.
No one knew until.
No one knew until about like 6
I
o'clock.
think most people assumed it was
Something,
closed because
yeah.
Meadows and Timberline were
Yeah,
closed.
but,
it was
uh,
nice there that night.
But
It
everyone
was.
kind of like got done with the town stuff, and you could see people migrating to the rope.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like a finishing thing. Like, all right.
Yeah, it was cool seeing
It was
everybody
cool.
pull up, and they
Yeah.
were like, "I still got more challenges to do."
Yeah, it was. No, honestly, I'm glad all the shit was
And
closed.
the after hours tattoos going down. We have to point out there's someone got the property of Jeff K. Tramp stamp.
Dude.
Let's go, Jacob.
Respect.
Yeah.
I want to see Jeff's reaction if and when he ever learns that there's another man in this world that has that.
There's a
Oh,
couple.
that's so great.
JoJo got one on his arm.
Property of Jeff K.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I walked into Justin's apartment, and his legs are fucking covered.
in all the see, he might have been racking
yeah,
up
he was
points,
just
man.
sitting there, and she's just like
Those
going
were
to
250
fucking town.
points each.
That's
I
what
didn't
I'm
think
saying.
fucking someone was gonna get a leg sleeve of everything. Wow.
Did they get a leg sleeve of everything?
Basically, yeah.
That
And
might win.
I
Yeah,
think-
that might beat
That
us.
might beat us.
My bad, guys. Sorry.
Well, they
Whatever.
get
Yeah,
it for that.
our team was kind of soft,
Hey,
but we did all the snowboard
He's
challenges.
got it in his skin forever.
Yeah, forever. But I mean, that's kind of like the cool part about the book is I tried to make it one side all tricks and one
Yeah.
side all like crazy shit. That
Yeah.
way, if you don't want to go hit the best Western rail, you can still
You could still
smoke a
be
split out of a
competing.
fucking
We were
corn
pretty
dog.
trick oriented. I don't think we did too much
Yeah.
crazy shit.
But then the other
it
teams
was
are
still
kind of
fun.
the other way. So honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it was a great time.
Exciting to find
we
out
look
who
forward to
won.
But I
seeing
will
how it all
say
shakes out.
Justin had his own book, like schedule, to how to like do everything and when to do it and where.
Okay.
Like he did his
was
fucking homework. So I think they might got it. I don't know.
Who was on his team?
regimented.
It was
He had a plan.
Justin, Nick,
Topher.
Topher, and
Pretty good squad.
Ryan.
Okay, funny story, real quick.
Sick filmer.
There's a video of me throwing the boots up in the tree.
Yeah.
And Topher messaged me, and he said he's pooping into a boot in the background of the shot.
No.
Yeah.
Little secret.
I couldn't see it, but I believed it. And they were
You could see them
I thought they
standing
were-
in the
I thought they
background.
were jibbing the roof, and then he tells me.
Was
they
that
were-
one of the challenges? Was to throw boots in the boot tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
That's
that was
so
for you, buddy.
sick. That's so sick.
Finally got to do that.
One of the challenges was bake Pepe a cake and sing him happy birthday, and Pepe was on our team, so people just kept ambushing
Yeah, we
him
got
with
some
birthday
dessert.
cakes
How many
the whole time.
cakes
It
did
was
you guys
fun.
get?
They got two.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Sick.
fire.
Time.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it was a cool one. I've been wanting to do that one
No, you
since
killed
I
it.
moved
You
here.
killed it.
So.
Yeah, dude. If that boot tree if they ever try to cut that thing down,
Oh, we're chaining
we gotta save the tree, man.
That'd be a whole thing.
Or I've thought about it. If it really did happen, we need to relocate all the boots.
Oh, yeah.
Like we need
That'd
to
be sick.
like as a
Okay.
town or
How
as whatever.
How many
as-
pairs of boots have you thrown up there?
I don't know. I think like if I had to guess, more than 6 pairs. But I threw the first pair of boots up there.
Oh, really?
No
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a heavy claim.
What kind were they?
It was the
White Air Forces or something?
no. The first pair was actually these gray Adidas, and they're still up there if you look for them. They're gray Adidas with white stripes. They were like sample boots I got from Matt Ball.
Okay.
He threw them out the window one day when me, Connor, and Colton were riding the rail in the backyard back when we had rails at the summits, and he like threw these boots out the window. I think he threw 2 pairs. I think Colton or Connor got like the same pair of boots, but they were like boa, but not boa. They were like you pulled the laces up, and I don't know. They were kind of shitty boots, but but I threw them up there, and the reason why was because like back then we used to always throw them on the power line that goes between building 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But they'd always get taken down. So then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to throw them. I lived in building 1 in the bottom left there. So I was like I'm going to throw them in this tree. And then like that year we all threw our boots up there, like kind of started with that apartment. And then everyone in the Summit started doing it. Matt Taylor threw a couple pairs up there. He was big on that.
Yeah. He's the one who showed me. He's like, man, your shit's trash. Throw them up there. I'm like,
yeah.
That was my first pair.
I need to donate a pair.
Stoked.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I mean, now going back there,
There's
like
hundreds.
it was crazy because
There's so
I
many.
left for a few years or like a few winters, didn't go into the Summits, and then I went up there one time,
holy
and I was
shit.
like, wow, dude, like,
more
this
boots
is
than
so,
tree.
Yeah,
like,
no, literally.
yeah,
Any wildlife taking up residency in a boot?
probably.
There's
man,
a beer.
got to be
I put mine. I duct taped like a beer in one, threw it up there.
a full beer.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
So
like a time
someone-
capsule.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like a time
sick,
capsule.
dude. Yeah. That's like one of my.
That's
like
a good.
My,
That's
my
a good
Gubby
claim.
legacy right there. dude.
Definitely.
Well, we're
Yeah.
rolling into it. When
It's a good legacy.
when did you first move to Hood?
Um,
Let's back up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go from the genesis. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from Wilsonville, Oregon. Same place as Connor
Dude, some
and Colton.
talent coming out of Wilsonville.
Yeah.
There's something in the water down there.
Yeah, Wilsonville is a great place to grow up for sure.
It's yourself, Connor Carroll, Colton Carroll.
Colton Carroll.
Barzies are from down there.
Barzies are from Sherwood, right,
Same
right
zone.
next door. Yeah.
Ari's from down there.
Yeah, there's a few people from Wilsonville actually. Like even just like Peyton and Maddie. They're like.
Oh, that's what I meant. Not.
They're
not-
both
yeah,
from. They're both
pardon
from
me.
Wilsonville as well.
Did you guys know each other at all? Through
Yeah,
like-
well, I knew Peyton. I didn't really know Maddie, but
Yeah.
I knew Peyton from like snowboard team in high school, and yeah, I mean Wilsonville is awesome. There's a lot of just a lot of opportunity, I guess,
Yeah.
for snowboarding there. Like,
Which is wild because it's kind of like far from the mountain.
yeah, well, that guy. I mean, Connor talked about it in his
The farm
episode,
project.
but yeah, the guy who did the farm project thing really
Connor sent in a question asking
about
you to talk about your times on the farm project.
Sick. Dude, yeah. I mean, I could go on and on about that. But yeah, basically that started it. Connor and Colt, that's how I met Colton playing football, I think, in like 6th grade. And then met Connor shortly after that. And
Are you guys the same age?
no, it's funny. So Colton is a year younger and Connor's a year older. So like when I was in 7th grade, it was Colton was a 6th grader, I was a 7th grader, Connor was an 8th grader. And we would cut out a class on Wednesdays to go snowboard with the snowboard team, but it was the guy who drove the bus for the farm project. And he would like pick us up on the backside of the school in this bus. And we, back then, I don't know how they let us do this, but back then you could sign yourself out of class. So like we would go to school that day.
amazing.
We'd like hide our boards somewhere in the back of the school or like in the bushes or whatever. And then we'd go like all at the same time, kind of like pull up to the office and hit the clipboard, sign
Yeah.
ourselves out, and I'd write like doctor's appointment. I don't know what they would write, but we'd write something down and then just leave and like duck out the back door, and he'd pull up on the bus. And luckily there weren't really very many windows back
Yeah.
there on the backside of the school, so we'd just like hop in this bus.
'Cause the bus is like,
Was it not
Isn't it
kosher?
like-
Would they have been bummed? Or?
Oh, I mean, I don't know how it was like allowed really, because
Yeah.
like I mean we were just like like kids signing ourselves out of school, leaving with some like random
dude,
you know, like our
yeah.
parents knew him,
Yeah.
but like the school didn't know
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I mean it was definitely not kosher. It was like dipping into a tour bus, like,
and it was like
That's sick.
painted or something.
oh
too,
yeah, it was
right?
all decked out. It had like we had an Xbox in there and like
Where's he
endless
taking you guys up
supply
to?
of Monster. Well, he
Up
would
to-
drive to Wilsonville High
Yeah.
from our school, from the middle school, like
And
drive
then
across town.
Ski Bowl or Meadows?
And then we'd go to Meadows usually.
Sick.
He actually was the first person who took us to the ski bowl rope tow. Me and Connor. I don't know if Colton was there, but it was like one day we were coming back from Meadows, and he was like, "You guys want to pull up to ski bowl for a second?" And,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You guys can just poach, like it's all good." And we all poached the rope. It was like probably 10 of us, and we pulled up and like didn't have tickets. Sorry,
Sick.
back in the day. I don't know. We didn't. They weren't checking back then. But yeah,
We definitely check now.
first time. Yeah, we definitely check passes now.
Yeah.
But back then we did not. And anyway, yeah, that was my first time ever going to the Ski Bowl rope tow.
So
Yeah.
you
What was the
always
rope-
started boarding on Hood.
What was the rope tow looking like?
It was
back
all
then?
boxes. There was like maybe 3 lines. I feel like it was just 2 lines, and it was like big boxes.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
Well,
remember?
I want to get into the genesis of the rope
Did
tow
you think
and,
it was
the
sick,
history of
or
it.
were you like,
oh yeah, no, I thought it was the
sick?
coolest thing ever.
Okay.
I mean, I was like learning how to.
So you're hooked from
I was
the
just
instinct.
learning how to jib at that point. So
When was this? Like
This-
2012, 13 kind of?
Yeah, it was
zone?
probably. It might have been
a little before that. I think
2013.
was the
probably-
box era on.
Yeah,
the toe?
it was probably 2013.
Because I was
Damn.
trying to think back, and I was digging.
Maybe 2014.
Dude, I dug back onto my Facebook from like 2008, 2009 era, which is
Sick.
terrifying.
Yeah.
We're trying to find photos of like my first time at the rope tow, and that's kind of the first images I could find was like the box time. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
think
they
it was
didn't have rails for
2000.
a while.
My first time going to Ski Bowl, was probably like 96 or something like that as like a kid. But then like really going there and sessioning all the time was like 2007, 8. And I don't remember the rope tow being there. I know they did rope tow before that, but I think it was just a spring pop-up park.
It used to be like an on and off thing. Troy was telling me this. My boss at
It used
Ski
to
Bowl now.
be
He was-
ski school kind of controlled the rope tow.
Right.
Park crew would just
That
do it
rope
in
tow
the
was
spring.
always there.
Yeah.
In that location.
It was always there.
Since like the 50s
And then it was
or
kind of
something,
a
right?
it was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
a beginner park, if I remember. That's why I had those big boxes and everything hard was on multipore still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gubbyville.
Maybe that's
Gubbyville.
why we
Shout out
because yeah, it
Gubbyville.
used
Shout
to,
out Gubbyville.
it used to be
shout
you
out
just
Wilsonville. Shout out Govey. Shout out Gubbyville.
You just go rip multiple. Dude, we used to only park on Ski Bowl East because then you could
Really?
like foot over to
Dude,
the
that's what I
multi-chair.
want.
I never did that. I
I
never did
want
that.
to just migrate all of the big park stuff over there one day and just have us be on the east side, out of sight, and like really just make the parks all over there, because then we could just dominate that side of the mountain.
True.
And like Lower Bowl could just be. I mean, we could still have the rope over there, but
Yeah.
but not have it be like the main point. Like we have a bigger rope tow, and then we have that rope tow. That's my ultimate
That,
vision. But
the main rope over there is
yeah, we got to
steep
keep
and
that.
big, but
It's
we'll get to some rope
anyway,
stuff. But
back
to Griff's
the
genesis.
so the Wilsonville. I started in Wilsonville. We were riding the bus a bunch, and then Connor's mom decided to move to Welch's when I was a freshman in high school. He was a sophomore, and Wilsonville like wouldn't let him drop out, so he switched to Sandy High School and then dropped out of there. But I just started doing online school like at that same time, and it was just crazy timing because I had like found out about online school from my buddy Oscar, and it was like right at the end of Christmas break, and I was like, damn, if I didn't have to go back to school on Monday, like I'd be so hyped. And so I didn't know it was even a thing, and
Did you do any sports past like in past grade school and stuff, like into junior high and high school?
I played like pretty much every sport growing up.
Was that hard to step away from as far as like? Because thinking back, like I was
Nah, fuck
super
that.
into that shit. in
I
high
was
school.
too. I mean, I loved
That's
sports.
the only thing that kept me in school.
I think like that was part of the reason why I started hating it. Was like freshman year. This is the last like organized sports I played was freshman year. I played football, and like I only went to one semester of regular high school at Wilsonville, and it was like that semester I was playing football.
I think we played you guys in football.
Yeah, we were probably pretty small. We were always pretty small. Sherwood was always huge, dude. Like they were always, I don't know, like farm boys, just massive. But anyway, point is, it was like doing the whole student athlete thing really sucked. Like they were checking my grades. I had to have like
Yeah, you gotta be on point.
I had to have like above a B- in every class, or else I couldn't play. And like they'd make you like, instead of practicing, they'd make you like go do your schoolwork. It was so whack.
Damn.
So like, I don't know. That kind of vibed me out for sure.
fuck
And then,
school.
and then, yeah, I just like, my parents were super cool about it. Luckily, they were, I mean, they had 2 kids before me that are a lot older, so they were pretty chill by the time I was growing up. And I convinced them to let me apply to this online school. It was like a public online school. It's called Oregon Connections Academy. I saw this commercial on TV about it, and I like applied to this school. They accepted me like a week before the end of the first semester.
Sick.
And I was like, cool, I'm out.
I'm out.
And like nobody believed that I was gonna do it. Everybody at Wilsonville was like, you're gonna lose your mind. Like you're not gonna be able to. And I kind of like wanted to prove him wrong in a way. But yeah, I ended up just coincidentally at the same time, Connor's mom moved to Welch's. So then I was like staying up there with them a bunch. And that's kind of how I first moved to Hood. I was like 15, staying with the Carroll Bros all the time. And it got to the point where like my mom was like sending me up there with groceries and stuff because I was there all the time. Yeah. And then when I turned 16, like that following year, my parents were like, okay, you got to get a job at Timberline or something if you're going to keep doing this. And so I got a job at Timberline and then started living in the Summits with Cameron Dean, like a year.
Shout out to Cam.
Yeah, shout out to Cam.
What was the first job at T-Line?
CDR busboy.
Hell yeah.
That was my first job. I did it for like a year and a half, and then I started serving because I turned 18.
Yeah.
Served for like 2 months, hated it, and then once I was 18.
An 18-year-old serving at the CDR can make some money. That's some money to an 18-year-old.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it was a good like first job too, just like learning how to like show up on time to a job that sucks. Like it was a good like first job to do.
That's
and
a grind.
Then I got to work at Ski Bowl. Like that following winter, once I turned 18, it was like, so basically I had 2 years in the trenches, then I turned 18.
Like game on.
And then it was like I could work Ski Bowl Parks, and got hired by Blake McCoy and Andy, and we were digging out the rails on Multipore back then. And yeah, so that was like when I first moved there, I guess. I lived in the Summits 2015 summer. That was when I first moved to Govey. And then after that summer, my dad co-signed a lease for me, and I moved into the Red Building when I was 16. I had my own spot in the Red Building. It was $300.
Fucking legendary, honestly.
Yeah, $350 a month.
That's so sick.
Dude, I didn't have Wi-Fi. I was doing online school, so I would like go to High Mountain Cafe, buy a sandwich, and like sit in there for like 3 or 4 hours, nerd out, like get caught up on school. Then I'd like fall behind for a while, catch back up, and yeah, I was just like boarding all the time back then. It was so sick.
Did you have like a plan to maybe I'll go pro or maybe I'll be in the industry? Like, I don't know. I just want to fucking do shit.
Dude, I remember one time being at the rope with Connor. Like,
'cause the kid's nice with it.
Yeah.
Thank
Real
you.
nice.
Yeah, shown promise.
Well, so when I was living with Connor at the time, like when we were, his mom would like drive us to the bus stop, and we'd go up to Timberline. We'd ride down and go to Ski Bowl until like 8 or 9, and then she'd come pick us up, or we'd take the bus down. But I remember one time, I think like Matt Degner, and like I remember seeing him and Will and Kai, and like those dudes were always there. But I think it was Matt Degner said to us one time, like, you guys got to stay with this. Like if you keep boarding, you're going to be really good. And I remember that like fired me up. And same with Connor, we were like, all right, we're going to fucking, we're going to,
on.
Yeah. So shout out Matt Degner too.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
There's an edit I've been trying to get Connor to pull up that we filmed at the rope back then. Like we must have been like 14 or something. We had a
you gotta find that for the Hood Report.
It's somewhere on YouTube. He's been trying to find it. It's like an archive.
Is that the dropping out to drop in?
No, it's called Dope Toe, and it's like it's like I don't know if you'll find it. I've been trying to find it, but
the Dope Toe.
But it's like 4 minutes and 20 seconds long, and it's us riding the rope, and I think there's like even maybe some footage of us smoking weed in it.
Yeah.
But it's
on
really
Connor's
funny.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's somewhere in his YouTube archive.
Yeah,
He needs to dig it up. But
That's funny.
Oh, I want to see that.
yeah, so I guess when I moved to Govey, it was 2015. That's when I officially moved to
putting a
Hood,
16-year-old smoking weed on our page.
Yeah, maybe it got taken down because of
No,
that.
I don't. I think it's.
Hashtag strobe.
I don't know if that's actually in there. I might be wrong about that. There might not be any incriminating footage. But I don't know. I know we were smoking weed at the time for sure.
Well, when did you you spent some time in Salt Lake also, didn't you? When did
did.
you move out to Salt Lake?
I moved to Salt Lake in the fall of 2020. So like after COVID had ran its course pretty much, but it was still like wearing masks and stuff. It was when all the really crazy wildfires were going on.
Oh, shit.
You remember when the sky was like red?
Up here?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was nuts.
Yeah, so like
It was during 2020 that you moved out there?
Yeah, during that fall, I had like moved out of my house up here. I was working this like weird kind of like odd job where I was doing solo demolition on this house. Fucking
That sounds
sick
like a
job.
good time.
Sounds like a
Sick
pre-jam.
job, dude. Yeah, I was
like a gig.
like, I would show up every day. They'd like tell me what I needed to do, give me
Fuck
the
shit
tools,
up.
and then they'd leave, and I would like just have this house to myself, and I'd turn on Limp Bizkit and just like break the shit. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh,
But
yeah,
anyway,
I
I was
get
like doing that, and then the fires were getting really crazy, and I just remember one day like it was so smoky, and I was like breathing all sorts of shit, like you know, sheetrock and whatever.
Asbestos.
All that
Just
insulation.
all sorts of shit in this nasty house I was demolishing. And I remember like walking outside and just looking around and being like, fuck this, man. I got to get out of here. Like, and I had planned on kind of going somewhere, but I didn't really have a plan for like Salt Lake or whatever. And I just basically got in my car and left and met up with Jack Reed, and he was looking for a spot, so we started looking together. And then Jeff Hulse, actually, shout out Jeff Hulse, he pretty much put me on in Salt Lake and
Sick.
got me and Jack into a buddy named Tucker's house pretty shortly after we got there. And then he kind of like introduced me to a bunch of the people I ended up being friends with. But yeah, spent 3 winters in Salt Lake. I would come back.
Fuck yeah, you're out there for a while.
Yeah, I would come back here for the summer every year, except one year I didn't. And that kind of burnt me out on Salt Lake in a way, because I just really missed Oregon that summer. And like it's so hot there, dude. Like in the summertime, it's so gnarly.
Yeah, year
You
round
just, like,
doesn't seem like it where it's at.
yeah, I mean, I was landscaping too,
No
so that
offense.
didn't help. But yeah, it's like 100 degrees, like
Just
for
stanky
like
desert.
for like a month straight. And,
Like the inversion that gets stuck in the city and stuff.
yeah, the air. I mean, overall, like it's not really a place you want to settle down, but it is really fun. And
Where were you riding in the wintertime? Were you Brighton?
Brighton and Woodward. I worked at both, actually. I got a job when I first started living there. I got a job as they called it building maintenance, but it was basically just janitor and like custodian. But
There you go.
but
Custodial art.
like it was a super sick job. We'd get to snowboard a lot on the clock. It was like you'd clock in and check the trashes and like do a round through the building, then go board, and then you'd like, I don't know, go sweep, take the trash out like throughout the night, and at the end of the night you'd clean everything. But basically you wouldn't do much for most of the shift. You just kind of hang out and snowboard. And so I got a Brighton pass doing that, and then I started working parks at Woodward.
What was your last year working at Woodward?
That would have been, well, so I moved back, would have been not this past winter, but the one before that.
Do you know Luke Giacopelli?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
love Luke G.
Yeah. That was my roommate. At,
Yeah.
Dude, when I
High
when I
Cascade.
moved to Salt
He's
Lake,
the man.
I also stayed on Jeff Hulse's couch when I first moved there.
yeah. The whole
what a great guy.
The whole
yeah.
couch
What a
doing
great
great
guy.
things for the
Shout out to
report.
Jeff Hulse, man. He really is like he's one of those people that like he feeds so much to the ether of snowboarding. Like
Right.
he puts so many people on and like just does so much for the whole thing. It's awesome.
You have to get him on the show.
Yeah.
yeah.
down.
Maybe
Definitely.
this, maybe this summer
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be sick.
he'll be
That'd be
back.
tight.
Love Jeff Hulse.
Well, sick.
Yeah.
And what brought you back to Hood? Just
Yeah, just being kind of homesick. And actually, I had this car crash that really like kind of changed my perspective on everything. I was like driving up to Woodward one day in my little Toyota Tacoma truck, and for some reason I wasn't in 4-wheel drive that day. I was like used to drive, like that winter was really crazy, a lot of like gnarly mornings driving up in the snow, and I was just cruising, like roads were clear, I wasn't really thinking. It's like autopilot mode, and I slid out on this bridge and like flipped out of a ditch. I went into a ditch, hit a sign, flipped twice, landed back on my tires.
Damn.
fuck.
And
That's a make.
yeah, it was crazy. Laced a double cork.
Yeah.
Only time in my life. But I like after that I kind of just I couldn't believe that I was okay, and I was like really shook about life and like my parents getting old and just
Damn,
everything.
full-
It just
Like,
kind of
it-
like
You
yeah.
were completely uninjured from that?
No, not even a mark, dude.
That's
It was
insane.
like that was the craziest part. Like I walked away without even a scratch on me, and
Yeah.
my car was like pretty
fucked
I
up.
wanted to
but
ask how the Toyota was.
my dad actually fixed it all up. You can't even
Shout
tell.
outs.
Yeah, you can't even tell really. but,
90s era fucking Tacoma.
Yeah, no, dude, it was still running actually, and I drove it into the parking lot,
Dude,
and then
made
like
to
got
topple
it towed.
foreign regimes.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Did
That
anybody
thing
see
was-
it happen? They're just
No,
like,
but there
"What
were these
the
two
fuck?"
guys
I'm happy
this
you're
was
okay.
lucky. There were these two guys there, like setting up their split boards. It's like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I pull into this trailhead. It's Lamb's Canyon. If you're ever driving up, be careful, right on that turn. Anyway, I pull into Lamb's Canyon. These guys are there, and they're like, "Holy shit, are you okay?" You know, like see the front of my car, and I'm like, "I don't know. Like I think I'm okay, but I'm not sure. Can you like check me out real quick,
am I
maybe?"
good? Like,
And they just like I got out and they just kind of like brushed me down real
Yeah.
quick, and they're like, "Yeah, you're not bleeding or anything. Like you got some glass in your hair or whatever, but
Whoa.
you're
So
you're
the
all
windows
good."
blew out and shit?
Just my driver's side window because I had it cracked, and I
Yeah.
think like when I landed, the impact made it shatter.
Yeah.
But nothing like
Otherwise, you drove it home.
I drove it into the parking lot and then I got it towed back to my house. But this was lucky too. Was I was like leaving the parking lot and I didn't report anything because I didn't like really want to get my insurance involved or
Yeah.
anything. And I like as I'm getting out of there, the cops pulled up like as we're leaving in the tow truck, and I was just like, oh, thank God I didn't
Yeah.
have to talk to anybody or anything. Like
Yeah.
nothing happened, nobody knows. And got the truck back to Oregon, fixed it up.
Like kind of
And,
an epiphany moment. For
But
you.
yeah, no, it was just
Kinda
like
put things in perspective.
I had already kind of had, like I said, I spent that summer there, and I was already kind of like a little burnt out on living there, and then that just like really made me want to be back here, and then I came back here for the summer, not really knowing if I was gonna go back to Salt Lake, and
Because all your family's here and stuff. So
Yeah.
I remember that feeling when I was living in Salt Lake, especially being young and away from the family and like having siblings.
yeah, and
Like,
3
man,
years
I
went by
wanna
so
be back
fast.
family.
Oh my God, man, it was like I mean, my brother had a kid, and I missed out on like the first 6 months of her life, so
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know, I just felt like I was too far away from them, and I knew time was just gonna keep flying by. Like I know plenty of people that have been out there for a decade or more, and it's a vortex. Like it's a sick place, so you definitely end up staying there for longer than you thought you would. So
Hood's happy to have you back. But
Yeah,
what
glad to
was
be
some highlights from your time in Salt Lake? Any notable like tricks or spots or you get busy in the city?
I didn't
at all?
really get busy in the city, to be honest. I was like more I was more getting busy in the city, like you know, hanging out. But
He was getting busy.
I was getting busy in the city, but not in that way. Yeah.
trying to turn some.
Honestly, I will say, but my favorite thing about living in Salt Lake was there's two things. One was like when Jack Reed started Batwing, we were living together at the time, and he had this little sewing machine. I had like a little embroidery machine, and have you ever seen that checkered beanie that I wear?
Yeah.
That was the first Batwing hat that
remember
was
that.
ever made.
Oh, damn.
And like it was cool because that brand like was birthed in an attic in Salt
Yeah.
Lake, just in my room, like on the floor.
That's sick.
And
Didn't he borrow your
yeah,
sewing machine?
Yeah, he
your
was using
embroidery machine?
using my machine at the
Yeah,
time.
So you're a big part of it, right?
Yeah, it was just cool to see like him take off with that,
Yeah.
and then it like really got it got pretty big in Salt Lake. It was sick. But that's one of them, and then another one was after that house. I moved into this house we called the Locust, and it was right across the street from Westminster, and I lived there with Miles Fallon, Blake Moeller, and Ben Marmer, and a few other people moved in and out. Sierra lived there for a
someone
little
asked.
while at one point.
I'm listening.
Oh, sick.
What's your favorite memory, best story from living at the Locust?
That's perfect. Okay, yeah, perfect segue. So that's my homie Squid. Shout out to Squid. He lived in the Locust as well for a
Squid
while.
lives in the Locust.
Yeah, Squid lived in the Locust.
A lot of people just kind of move in and out of those snowboard houses.
Well, and
Salt
this
Lake,
house was
right?
sick.
Yeah.
It was a 5-bedroom, and it was a duplex, and like the next door neighbors were these frat bros. They lived there for years. They were like the coolest neighbors ever. They didn't
Sick.
give a shit. But yeah, living in the Locust was awesome, dude. So my highlight of living in the Locust, there was one month where we'd play kickball every Friday in Salt Lake. It was like a thing we do in the fall there.
Okay, yeah, you see, like, there's a lot of, like, heads that
Organized by
go
Jeff
to
Holst.
those.
Jeff Holst, yeah. And I actually
Looks like a
started
good time.
out here. Like this.
At MHSSC or
Well,
something,
he
or,
was working High Cascade adult
Oh,
camp,
okay.
and we were working at MHSSC, and we'd play kickball with the adults. And it was like a drinking game where
It's
you
camp
like you
versus
had
camp.
to you had to have a beer in your hand all times. If your beer was like half empty or whatever, you had to get a new one. Like if you made a play and your beer was empty, then like the play would be void.
Oh, that's
Like,
kind of sick.
It was
I
like
that.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of rules. Like there's this thing called the boat race where like if you argue over a call, you can call boat race, and then basically the two people who are arguing have to shotgun a beer at home plate and race around,
Oh,
and
fuck.
whoever gets back
That's
to home plate
awesome.
first like wins the call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, kickball is always fun, but for like a month, every Friday we'd have a party at our house after kickball, and like it like went on just randomly. Like every Friday it'd be like somebody have a megaphone and they'd be like, "Party at the Locust," and it'd be like, "All right, shit, here we go again." And then like there was this one party. I'll have to pull up the clip or send you guys the clip. But there's a clip of us in the house, and Luke Lund. I forgot to mention him. He lived in the house as well.
Shout outs.
Shout out Goop.
I was his life coach at camp.
Hell yeah, Goop and BMO and Miles.
That was a legendary
sick
fucking
roommates.
year at Wendell's.
Yeah, but anyway, Goop's on the megaphone. We're like passing the megaphone around, and Goop's like, "If I don't know you, get the fuck out!" and just like yelling at people. And he's like,
Sick.
"You, like, I don't know you, get the fuck out of my house." It was so good, man. But yeah, the parties we threw at that house were.
I think I've
were
seen that clip.
Very memorable. Yeah,
remember it
yeah. No,
somewhere.
I mean, I think a lot of people. If you ask people who have been around Salt Lake about the Locust, they probably know. It was a good
You think
time.
there's snowboarders still living there?
There are, yeah.
Okay.
So we got like really screwed over by the landlord guy. We ended up owing like $8,000, which
In damages or in
yeah,
rent?
in damages.
Oh.
Do you really think he got screwed over? Or do you think that he probably got what
no,
he
no,
raised?
no, no. Yeah, I mean, like we did do some damage. I'm not gonna lie, but it sounds like it was worse than it really was.
Okay.
Like we
Yeah.
kept the place pretty nice, and like he charged us like $3,000 for paint and like
Damn.
like a bunch of it was kind of weird. Like I don't think that it was all legit, but it was also like the guy had a bunch of properties, and like we weren't gonna go against the student court. Like
Yeah.
we would have gotten smoked.
Yeah, just use
so
his power against
Typical
you.
like
it was just kind of like
slumlord
we're
shit.
helpless. Like we got to pay this big
Damn.
bill, and that was another thing where like after that I was like, damn, I'm definitely
I
not
gotta
moving
go
back to
home.
Salt Lake now. Like I
Hold
gotta
on, I was
stay.
about to say, Stone Cold Steve Lockwood asked, "Why did you leave Salt Lake?"
Yeah,
And then he also asked, "Why did you really leave Salt Lake?"
oh dude, yeah, shit, he's getting into the nitty
There it
gritty.
is.
Take
Dude.
it as you will.
Yeah, I mean, there was a girl in Salt Lake. I mean that's what he's probably talking about, but I don't want to get into that really.
We don't need to.
But yeah,
Well
I mean,
said.
I left Salt Lake for a number of reasons, and one of the reasons I didn't go back was because I was in financial despair after leaving the Locust, and I had to recover.
Did you guys come up with the money to pay him back?
Yeah, we
Everything?
had
You
to,
guys
dude.
all
I mean,
square?
we had to
Yeah?
scrape it all together. We
Yeah.
all kind of chipped in a couple of G's
A lot of people just
each.
bounce on those kind
And
of
well,
things.
luckily, is like like Miles and BMO and I, and then Luke Lund and Benny Marms, like we all just chipped in.
You guys are good,
a couple
responsible
thousand.
guys.
Squid, I think
Yeah.
pitched a
I'm
grand.
sure that no one is going to give anyone anything they aren't deserving of, and I bet that being good parents, the parents are probably like, "You guys have to clean up that mess." But I'm
Well,
sure
yeah, that was
if they were really over the barrel, there's some,
That's
some
where it
names
got
to pull from.
serious. Like with us though, was like Luke and I, both of us had our parents co-sign because he made us. So it was like if we don't,
You're on the lease.
if we didn't pay it though, like it could have
Affect
went.
their
It could have
credit.
went to
Yeah.
their credit, and then like our parents both have mortgages, so it would have been
A whole
like
thing.
it was. We were like, fuck, we got to get this money together.
I
like,
gotta take this moment to just say, like, I don't know if they're listening or if anyone cares, but I am so proud of that group of kids.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Luke Lund.
He's got a
Miles
pro model
Fallon,
coming out.
BMO. Like when I first got hired on at Wendell's, it was their junior year of high school, and
Yeah.
that was the
Whoa.
class. And like there's them. There's also like Luke Blovad, like some of them
Yeah,
on
Luke
the skate
Blovad
side, like,
also
just
insane.
the talent.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting a bunch, like Tyler Sosnowski, like
Yeah.
some
He lived right
heavy-handed
down the
girls,
road,
too.
too.
Like, dude, that pack of humans
Yeah.
are some of the most talented people I've ever been around in my
That's
life.
sick.
And, like, it was
And
such
you
a
were kind of
pleasure
helping
to
stoke
like.
the fire a little bit.
I wasn't doing shit but driving them around and getting McDonald's. But I was proud
Hey,
to
McDonald's is
just
important,
be
man.
around.
Yeah,
You know, it was so sick.
full circle for me too. It was cool because
Love
like
seeing them take off.
I remember like being like that kid living in Govey, and I'd see those kids pull up once
Yeah.
in a while,
Yeah.
like to the rope and
It
shit, and
pushed up the talent level on Hook.
I would just be like, where, like, who are these dudes? You know, like, what the hell?
That's
And
how I
then-
felt when I saw you too, because I remember I was trying to think about researching this episode. I'm like, when's the first time I remember seeing you? I just remember seeing some kid pull up in a Mariners jersey and just with a beat down on the toe, and I'm like, who is this?
Hell
And
yeah.
it made me feel like the old guy, because I'm
Yeah.
like, ah, man, the next generation's here.
And that's when he was like.
I was probably like,
17, 18 or
yeah,
something?
yeah. I was always wearing the
Okay.
Mariners jerseys back in the day.
Have you ever
Sick.
met Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, but I'm named after him though.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact.
There
Oh,
it is.
respect.
Who's the
Yeah.
most famous person you've ever met?
Dude, that's a good
Because
question.
someone said he's never met Magic Johnson. So
I have
said,
never met
who's the-
Magic
So I
Johnson.
said, who's the most famous?
Is that the most famous person you've
Dude,
met?
Yeah,
I
probably.
met Damian Lillard once actually.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
good.
He came to Wilsonville High and like he did like an assembly at Wilsonville High. So I did get a photo with Dame Lillard at
Oh,
one point.
sick.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, man,
but
we gotta find
I
that.
have
Make
to
that
dig
shirt.
that out.
Hometown
yeah.
hero.
Yeah, but that's probably the most famous
Batwing
person.
shirt.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
the coolest person I've ever met is Mikey LeBlanc.
Oh, I bet, dude. I
dude.
bet he's a good time.
Yeah, I actually got to witness that photo that he like got on the cover for that it was like that stair ollie through the alleyway.
Fucking
Oh, yeah?
Skinny ass.
Yeah,
one?
yeah. I got to do it so cool. Actually, also because of Luke Lund, I got to go to the spot. Luke like pulls up to the house. He's like, "Yo, you guys got to come with me right now. We're gonna go set up this spot for Mikey LeBlanc." And I was like, "Fuck
Done.
yeah, no way!"
Drop
Like
the ball,
hell
let's
yeah.
go.
So we all get off the couch, go. It's like right down the road from our house, and it was crazy. Like the amount of people that showed up for this. Like when we got there, it was just like Jeff and Mikey and like Bob Plum, the photographer.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden like Joe Sexton's there, Spencer Schubert, like Blake Paul, fucking who else? Like Jacob Krugmeyer, a whole bunch of people pull up and are like everybody's just like scraping snow out of this parking lot for this alleyway. There's not much snow in town. And it gets set up in like 15 minutes. It's like
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing was like while we were doing this, me and my roommate Benny are like, we just happened to be standing like at the end of the alleyway, and Mikey comes down with a wheelbarrow full of snow, and he's like, you guys want to build a lip? Like you guys can build a lip? And I was like, fuck. Like yeah, I was like, okay, yeah. Like what
That's
kind?
sick.
I was like,
Fuck
what kind of
yeah.
lip you want? You know? And he's like, just like a bump. And so yeah, we got to build that
That's
lip, and then
fucking cool.
he did
How
it
many stairs
first
is that? That's
try.
18 or no?
It
it's
was
more
like-
than that, right?
no,
It's
it was like-
it's in the.
I
is
feel
that
like it was
in
like
the 30s?
22 or something.
Okay.
It was like
That's
a.
that fat to flat that you did recently, right?
There's like one stair set, a
No.
flat, and another stair set, and then it's like right into the road, and it's a busy road too. It's like Highland Drive, I think, like right by the Taco Bell.
It's not the spot at, because didn't he do the spot at Big Bear too?
Not in the Big Bear spot.
What,
not that
I'm thinking
one.
the clip that like was just recently came out. Like I
That
think
might
it
have
dropped
been the
maybe
Big
this
Bear
last
one.
year even,
but this was in
anyways,
Salt
sick.
Lake. It was like right when he kind of like started snowboarding
Coming
again.
back.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Coming
yeah.
back.
But dude, it was just insane to watch this guy because like it was so narrow winching through this thing that like you couldn't even put a board sideways. Like we were walking through the
Yeah.
alleyway, like slipping around with our hands on the walls. He couldn't like he had to just go
He couldn't
straight.
speed check.
Couldn't
He
bail.
had to
Like he
just
had to
go
just
for
go
it.
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at a certain point.
And first tee laces it.
Sick.
And it was like this guy's like 50 years old, and he
And
just
everyone
ollied
sits
down this stair set like it's nothing, and yeah, everybody went crazy. It
Fuck
was the
yeah.
coolest.
Did he do it a couple
Seasoned
times for
vet.
the photo, or is it one and done?
I think he only did it one time.
Yeah.
I think he just it was like
Got the photo, got
laced
the clip.
it. He might have done it twice in a row. I can't remember if he. I know he didn't like miss.
Yeah.
He did it first tee, and it was like. Holy shit!
And he built
Like,
the lip.
No fucking
Yep,
way.
exactly.
Yeah. I have an iPhone angle of it
That's
actually.
dope.
Oh, sick.
Damn, that's
We-
sick.
We should post that.
Lex, who's the most famous person you've met? As long as we're name dropping,
man.
we'll go around the table.
Dude, honestly, okay, I'll go probably. Oh, fuck, dude. Honestly, probably the coolest one is lead singer of Portugal the Man, John Gurley.
You guys are like good friends, aren't you?
We're like internet friends.
Okay.
That one's cool, but dude, honestly, probably. Fuck. I probably first week that I moved here at Timberline, I was doing banquets. walking around fucking randomly trying to find like where anything is. Come around the corner and bump into this dude. I'm like, so sorry, dude. Like fucking Eric Costin was there.
No
That's sick.
way.
Yeah.
That's
So
sick.
I was like, yo, Frosty, like, no, like, dude, I'm sorry, but like, thank you so much. Like, shook my hand.
That's a
I was like,
big
what are
one.
you doing up here? He's like, oh, I'm just having dinner with my family. Did like a Nike thing and
Nice.
that whole thing.
That's sick.
That one was fucking wild.
That's wild.
Morgan's stepdad went to school with Eric Costin.
Oh,
we
dude,
were,
wait.
We were at,
I just thought of one.
Christmas, and he asked, he's like, do you know a guy named Eric Costin? He skateboards.
I thought of one more I got to
Another
drop.
famous person?
One more I got
Alright,
to drop.
let's hear it.
I worked for Steve Blake, the basketball
Yeah.
player, at his house. I built him a fence.
Sick.
And it was crazy because like I knew who he was, but like I wasn't a huge Steve Blake fan growing up, like
Yeah.
basketball wise. He played for the Blazers, but like I don't know, I wasn't like following it at the time. I like Googled him when I was working for him just because I was like, I want to find some highlights of this dude. And there's this highlight video of him just fighting people, and it's so sick. It's like the hardest edit. Like it's just like
In a game setting?
like in college, in the NBA,
yeah,
like
okay.
he's just
He's
like
a
throwing
scrapper.
hands with people. Or,
He's
like,
a scrapper.
Yeah, and it was
dope.
like I was like, oh shit, dude, like I better not fuck this guy's fence up. Like, and,
Shit out of me.
yeah, dude, and he would like come out. He'd walk out to the house sometimes like barefoot, and he'd have his he had like chickens. Oh, that's what I was building, was a fence for his chickens.
Yeah.
And he had like little chicks. He'd be walking around barefoot with the chicks like walking around at his feet, and it's just like, dude, this is such a chill guy, but he's like a fucking.
gnarliest
He's
dude on
also
the
like
court.
and he's like, I don't know, just like played with Kobe Bryant. He's like super, you know,
Damn.
like
was
I
that
remember
just-
Steve Blake.
yeah, working at his house. It was a trip, dude.
Was it random too? Like you're just like got this job.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know.
Oh yeah. All of a sudden it was like, you're working for Steve Blake, and I was like, Steve Blake, like the
Steve Blake.
Steve Blake. And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, okay.
Dude, my family did a job for Elijah. What's his full name? Something Elijah Wan.
Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah,
That's
they're
sick.
working for
That's
down in
sick.
Texas
Who's the
for a
most
little
famous
while.
person you met then, Donovan?
Probably Tony Hawk.
Oh,
I got
that's,
to do
that's
when I was
huge.
when I was living at camp. It was in between sessions, like in
Whoa.
the springtime. Like school was out and summer hadn't started.
Yeah.
And I heard someone skating outside, and my job was to like kick out people that would come in. 'Cause,
Oh
you
my
know,
God! Tell me
be
you
security.
kicked him out. That'd be sick.
But yeah, I
Sorry,
look
man,
out.
you can't skate.
I was folding laundry and I look out my window and I see Tony Hawk skate by and I'm like, no fucking way. So I like went out there and they were filming for the Birdhouse video. This is like fucking 6-7
Like
years ago or
Saturday
something
or
like
whatever?
that. Yeah, the latest
Sick.
one. And got to skate with him, Jaws, Ben
Ben
Rayborn,
Rayborn.
Wow.
Lizzie, whole full Birdhouse team.
Yeah.
And
That's sick.
For like an hour, and then eventually like word got out. Like I messaged a couple people, and like you know everyone started showing up. And but yeah, I got a private session with
He's
them for
probably
like
the
an
fucking
hour.
chillest dude.
Yeah, dude, they're all just skaters.
Yeah.
It was pretty tight.
Yeah, it's hard to find
Dude.
like a shitty.
How about Tony Hawk's kid and Kurt Cobain's kid?
Yeah,
Daughter, yeah.
wild. That's
That
pretty
is
cool.
like that's the coolest white person ever. Dude,
Definitely.
seriously, think about that. Your grandparents are Tony Hawk and Kurt Cobain.
Kurt
Yeah.
Cobain.
Like
That's
your,
wild.
your
Yeah.
granddads,
That is
dude. That is
wild.
the coolest thing ever.
And your dad's a pro skater turned ninja. He's
Yeah.
like Riley's all into jujitsu now.
Dude.
Word. That's
Yeah.
sick, dude. Yeah, yeah. The
Anyways.
kid's gonna be cool as
Fucking
hell.
shout
Claims.
Tony Hawk.
Claims.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to Hood. We're happy to have you back.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's good to be
Got
back.
our
did-
celebrity name drops
There it
in.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
You're now the head of the rope toe,
Yeah.
if that's a title.
Yeah, that is.
How did you go from being in Salt Lake to being the head of the rope toe?
That's a good question, man.
Mayor of Guvyville.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Lex coined you as the head or the mayor of Guppy.
I think
believe
he's
that's
the
episode one.
mayor, honestly, but yeah, we go back
Sorry,
and forth
Charlie.
on
Yeah.
that. We trade off on the roll,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
Did you come back and start working at the bowl right away?
Yeah,
Just
that was
kinda
kind
climb
of
the
so
ladder.
that was kind of like part of the reason why I stayed last winter. When I was trying to figure out what to do after we got that bill for the house, I was like, shit. Well, I could just stay in Govey, and I bought a camper for my truck, and then I asked Deb if I could have a job, and like I had worked at Ski Bowl before on parks, so it was kind of like I played a little like seniority card a little bit and was like, come on, like you gotta let me back.
Yeah.
And it started out just like, yeah, I can get you like part-time like builds and maybe some other shifts, and then it just kind of I was there like all the time last winter, so it just kind of ended up that I started working full-time. And then when Deb towards the end of last year, Deb started kind of thinking about going somewhere else maybe, or not being the manager anymore. And I thought she was joking, but she like said something one day at the toe like, oh yeah, like when you're in charge next year, like you can deal with all this bullshit or whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know. And then over the summer, or like right at the end of the season, she was like, so do you actually want to be the boss next year? And I was like, I guess, like, sure, yeah, we'll see. I mean, if you do leave. And then over the summer, she asked me for real, and I was like, yeah, I'm down. And that's how it happened. I just kind of like
Just
fell into my lap.
right
Yeah,
into it.
yeah. So shout out to Deb. She gave me the job.
You seem like an obvious person to have running in. It seems like you're doing a great job in the
Thanks,
position.
man.
So respect
Yeah,
and thank you from all of us that go and enjoy the toe every day. It's sick.
Doing my best.
And we'll get into it. How's everyone living right now? Are we doing good? Do we need
Yeah, I
a
think it's
bio
right
break?
Chilling. I'm
Right
hanging
around
out.
11
Yeah,
11.
a.m. So
I'm
got
good.
another hour.
I might be the main coffee consumer today. I might have to step into the
Yeah,
back for 2
yeah,
seconds.
get yourself a
keep
coffee.
shooting the shit for a second.
Yeah.
Let's keep it rolling.
Well,
We'll get into the toe and some user
The dope
questions
toe.
we can
yeah.
take here.
I mean, I'm stoked. Like, it's really cool to be in charge of it now, because I was talking to Connor about this last night, actually, because we were talking about that video that we filmed back in the day.
Yeah.
And just like how much time we used to spend there, and we had no idea. I didn't even know, I don't know if Connor did, I didn't know that there was even people like working there doing that. Like, I didn't know that was a job.
Yeah.
And so now to be managing the park that like we learned all of our tricks in is really cool. And it's like having Connor back too, especially, like I'm so hyped that he decided to take the winter here. And
A little nostalgia for it.
yeah,
you know?
it's just like, I mean, it's like where we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like when we were raking last night, we were just like, yeah, man, we like pretty much manifested this when we were in middle school or whatever.
Sick.
And now
Okay.
we're still there. It's sick.
Yeah.
I love skee ball, and yeah, I think I'll probably be there for a while.
Sick. So you're like hyped and you want to keep going with it.
Yeah, we're just
keep
getting
progressing
started.
it.
Yeah.
Someone
I mean,
chimed in. They asked, I'll have to see who it was, but they asked, what's your vision for the
Yeah.
rope toe, and where do you see it heading in the future?
man, I mean, expanding it is really like the end goal. They have another rope toe that they don't use. That's like, it's not like they have the gearbox, and if they were to put it on the hill, like all they would have to do is put a couple poles in
Just
and install it, you know?
Okay.
Dude, I've fantasized
So-
about this before. It's a pretty good pitch to where the rope toe currently is, if it just went wider across the hill and took that whole, it doesn't have to take the whole zone over to the base of bottom lift,
Yeah.
but a good portion of it to put 2 ropes in, and then all the, just maybe like 6 features wide in there, and then you could direct all downhill traffic towards the bottom
Other
chair
side, yeah.
underneath into the other side or
Yeah,
something. But
that's
I'm sure
so
that's a
that's
pipe
actually.
dream.
I mean, that's another pipe dream vision that we've been working on for the past few years. Hunter's really pushing for it this year, that we try to run it later than we usually do, and like farm all the snow and then go basically all the way to Lower Bowl and stack it like 20 feet high, and then just have like run it like a glacier basically
Yeah.
until we run out of
Can't do
snow.
it anymore.
Yeah,
there
and
would
I-
be, I mean, if you guys need a petition signed, I'll help push it around.
Yeah,
'cause
it'd be
that'd
cool.
sick.
I
And
actually am
we
gonna-
can show the people that are just looking at dollars on a spreadsheet that we can try to bridge that gap.
I've been
for 'em.
thinking about. I want to do a poll on the page that just, if everybody can
Gonna
answer
break
that
the
poll,
internet, dude.
if everybody answers the poll saying they would
Yeah.
buy a spring pass,
Yeah.
we think we'd sell a spring pass for like $150.
Done.
And
Deal.
And then to get into the nitty gritty, they probably already have the insurance for that time period.
yeah,
because
well,
of the
their
summer
insurance doesn't
operations.
expire. They have like their own. I don't know. It's a different deal with their insurance where
That'd be
like
sick
they
if
don't.
that
There's no rule that says that we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to make it happen for a few years. It's just kind of like convincing, like you said, the people who are looking at the numbers on the spreadsheet. But I think it will happen. I don't know if it's going to happen
Yeah,
this
that'd
year,
be
but we're
sick.
trying to make it happen this year. That's one of the visions. The other vision is to install that other rope toe on the east side where the handle toe is, on the other side of the handle toe, because that right side of that handle toe, it only accesses the left, and the right side is basically just a no man's land. And it's got like sick grade. It has this big like natural dirt wall, like bank wall with a cat track up above. We could have features on, it's like, it's a sick big zone, like probably 4 times the size of the rope
Damn.
now. So if we had that and the park on Multiport and the park on the conveyor and then the park on the rope as it is now, that's my end vision.
Yeah.
Because I overheard someone say that, like, kind of one of the goals as a company is to somewhat outpace the stigma of being a cheap resort, which kind of sucks because it's nice to have something affordable for the local people, but
It always will be. I mean, I don't think
but
that's
cheap meaning shitty. Let's get away from that.
Yeah,
Let's make it an affordable, awesome place.
It's good that they're like trying to give that place a little bit of a facelift, but I do think like overall it's part of its charm that it is like kind of the affordable resort.
Core
And
little.
I love that. Like I don't want it to change too much.
Rustic in the best ways.
Yeah, but I do agree that like there are things, there's always improvements to be made.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they're doing well with like long-term plan. There is a plan to put a new chairlift in, and I don't know if that'll ever happen. But they want to put a new chairlift in on Lower Bowl, and then they also want to redo the Cascade chair and move it from where it is now to like have it start kind of closer to the bottom of Multiport and go straight up to the true summit of that mountain.
Left, whatever. What mountain is that?
That's a good question. It's I think it's Multiport Mountain.
It's Jump.
Oh, yeah, that probably makes sense.
I thought it was Jump Mountain.
Jump Mountain.
Yeah, because it used to be.
It
like
used to
this
be called
huge-
Jump Mountain.
Yeah.
That's like what it's called.
I guess you're right. It's
That's
not
where the
it's
ski
not
jump was.
Multiport because
Yeah. 'Cause I
Multiport
always
Mountain
look at it, I'm like,
Multiport
dude.
Mountain is like where Multiport goes.
I'll mind board from the car.
No
and I'll be
way.
like, I'll be like, dude, building a jump on that. It's the perfect pitch for it. And then I looked up the history of the zone.
Yeah,
it's like it's
that's
called
how.
Jump Mountain.
Yeah, that's actually how like.
Sure, the natives
that's
call
how
it something
Govey
else.
like
What do we call it?
started was the ski jumping back in the day on Cascade back there. Like it was in like the 30s. They like a bunch of Norwegians came out here and they were like.
Y'all,
Just
what's up?
there-
Y'all
there's
the jump,
there's
y'all.
old photos of like this wooden ski jump and
Yeah.
like huge crowds of people, like old Model 1 or Model Ts.
Yeah.
Like full like parking lot of Model Ts and like crowd of people.
The
jumping
original
off.
Govey scum.
Yeah, for real. That was like
you
before.
can see Mount Hood in the background.
Yeah, before there were
right?
even ski resorts. Like there wasn't even the summit or anything yet.
Yeah.
Who kind of the history of the toe. On that note, who do we think has the most reps on the ski bowl rope toe of all time?
Damn.
We asked people this. Also, some of the feedback. Leif, you had some quite a few people mention to you. Honorable mention. Griff, I think you had an honorable mention as well. Some other honorables. We had Morgan and Pinky.
Yeah, they're up there.
We had obviously the Carroll brothers. Andy Glader. Who else did we have on there mentioned?
Pepe,
Dude,
Pepe's mentioned.
Kai has got to be on that list.
Kai's on
Yeah.
there. He's
'Cause-
not on there as much anymore, but I think he put so many reps in back in the day.
Dude, yeah, he's got
his fill.
That's why I was
yeah.
my take is I'm like it has to be someone that bridges all the generations because there's like the
That's-
early generation which I kind of throw myself in that bucket
Yeah,
of
yeah,
back
yeah.
when it was Box City.
Yeah.
And then there's people like Andy and Pinky and Morgan have never really left the toe for a long period of time.
Yeah.
They've had stints here or there, but
Dude,
I think it's Andy.
I was gonna say, I think realistically, it's got to be Andy. Like,
'Cause he's been there
if
almost
you,
every
if
day
you
for
counted,
decades.
yeah, if you counted every lap that Andy Gladder's done on that rope toe,
He's prestiged.
it's got to be more because like those years when he was kind of running the parks too, when Connor and I were working there, like he was boarding all the time. He like never slept, dude. He would seriously like he would work overnights at Timberline, like come open the park in the morning, ride all day, and then go do another overnight. It was like I don't know when he ever slept.
Yeah.
Seriously, it was like, but yeah, he probably has the most.
King
I,
of the toe.
I think he's got to
There
be.
it is.
Leif, who do you think? You probably have the most like
maybe-
thumb on the pulse.
Yeah, Andy. Matt Degner, I feel like.
Matt Degner's.
Degner put some
Oh,
time
dude,
in,
yeah,
too.
that's a good honorable
That's
mention.
your
My
honorable.
personal mention was
Cam.
for John Montana. I don't know if you guys ever remember that guy.
I don't.
He was really sick back in the day.
I don't remember it. John
He was Matt
Montana.
Degner's homie, but
Maybe I saw him. I probably saw him back in the day. But I
Yeah,
don't-
yeah.
If we didn't mention you and you think it's you, make sure to let us
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I would love to hear. I would love to hear anybody's claim to that because, I mean, I think I'm pretty high up on that list too, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I can claim
it's hard
that.
to say
It'd be
when the
crazy to
rope
see
toe
the
park
stats.
actually started.
Yeah,
That's another thing. If you know when it truly started,
I was
or
trying to.
the
I was,
history of it.
I was trying to figure that out with Troy.
because it's kind of gray from my memory.
Because yeah,
It-
I remember
it's
going there
hard-
in like
it's hard to put it-
2015, 16. Like
I mean, it's hard to put an
an
actual like date on it. I feel like because it's gone on and off.
Yeah.
Like it.
I
There was
will
like,
say when it changed from Box City to being what it is right now is when, in
was
my
about- that was
opinion,
about
it's
Andy
when
Gladder
CJ and Casey kind of took over.
True.
And whoever else was on staff, I wasn't
like
working.
when Andy Glider was there.
Yeah,
it?
because that year that we were working there,
It was rails.
We started like that was the first year that we started putting like
you-
3 rails.
you remember
or
that-
3
Well, yeah, and
lines
we had
wide.
like the 4Fs rail jam and shit like that. Like there was
Yeah.
rail
You
jams. and
remember
stuff,
that
but
was kind of
it
a
really
fight with
started
ski
getting
school
industry standard.
Yeah.
Get that,
Oh my God.
To get our park,
That
we had
guy
to wait
Peter
till
with
after winter break.
Yeah, the dude who owns like or runs like the Hurricane and the Warming Hut. He's this old dude from the Czech Republic. He's cool, but he's like big dog at skee ball, and he
He did not want to give it up.
he was always like gatekeeping the rope tow for ski school, and so we'd like battle with him every year to get it, and then like they were super strict about like we couldn't have 3 lines wide, and we had to have the box line right off the rope, and that year was the first year that we were like, nah, we're going 3 wide and we're putting rails right on the rope line. And we had Lazarus, that crazy kink rail that is now like 2 different. And now it's the clacker and the skirting of the knob rail.
Lazarus.
Lazarus was this crazy DFD.
Andy was telling me about Lazarus.
Down.
Yeah, Andy named it Lazarus
He was
because
telling me about this like yesterday. Actually, we were talking about, or a couple days we were talking about the clacker rail.
yeah.
He was saying
So
that's
it's
what
now
became.
the double barrel, like the double barrel clacker is that rail because it was like this double barrel down, flat down, but it was sick. It was like long down, short flat, short down, and it was kind of like bent because Andy found it like just completely swallowed by the arbor over on the multipore side, like at the bottom of the chair. It was just like forgotten about in the woods, and he pulled it out of the woods, and so he named it Lazarus because it was like he rose it from the dead, and then
Best names.
Yeah.
You always got the best names.
and
Andy's
then
a creative guy.
He's the
then
best.
yeah, Lazarus became, or it died again, and it's 2 more rails now, so it's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Lazarus
Yeah,
lives.
ski
Isn't
balls.
that what he named the rock in front of his house too?
I don't know.
Or no, he had another name for that. Maybe it was like Patricia or something like that.
That's awesome. Okay.
We were
Yeah,
jibbing it.
but yeah.
Who's the current staff at the toe? I want to make sure we
Dude.
give them shout outs. Let's name them off.
Shout out
You
to
rifle
all of them.
off?
I mean,
20 people.
there's 20. There are 20 of them.
Maybe more now
Wow.
with the build crew.
No,
and,
there's
like,
20. There's 20, not including me. So I am
Holy
in
shit.
charge of 20 people.
Name drop them all right
okay,
now.
Okay.
Like T-line.
We got Marcel. We got Topher. We got Bart. We got Connor. We got. I'm trying to go alphabetically because this is how I go through their time cards. We got fucking Sydney. We got Olivia. We have Nick Joyce. Fucking Alex Barzy. Ryan Barzy.
An illustrious crew.
Let's see, who else am I wish I had all the names off the top of my head. Gian, Nate, Eli, Schlavin.
You're getting found already. You're doing great. You're doing better than I would have done.
Brian.
Holy shit.
We got, I'm thinking of, there's a few more.
Leif's there.
Leif, of course. Ian.
Hunter.
Shit. Hunter's the big dog. He's not underneath.
Jace
Hunter,
on
thanks-
your-
thanks for
Jace
doing
on
what
there?
you
Jace
do.
is not on there.
He's on the
Andy,
grooming.
of course. Fuck, man. Who else am I? I know I'm gonna forget somebody, and they're gonna be bummed. But yeah, I
to
will
put you
say
on
that.
spot.
I will say this: they're all awesome, and I've worked at a lot of mountains on park crew for years. And oh, there's Cam Weeg driving by.
What's up, Cam?
Anyway, yeah, I've worked at a lot of places, and I think this is the best crew I've ever been
It's
a part
all
of.
smiles.
It's
Every time
really-
I roll up there, everyone's just happy to be at work.
A lot
and,
of
like,
hard-working
The vibe is
dogs
there.
out there.
It's
yeah.
such a special freaking place, and like,
Yeah.
I hope that it lasts forever.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that we have it.
I like
for
to
this
think of
period
it
time.
like it's like we're like the '98 Bulls right now, man. We're in like
Fucking
the
A,
heat
right?
of the dynasty, and like
Fuck yeah.
keep it running.
and hopefully we can keep going. Yeah,
Keep it
Getting them
going.
rings.
yeah.
Dude, it was sick. Like last night, rolling up there, it felt like a Trollhagen style toe or something. Like there's no gaps on the toe. Everyone's putting down.
Yeah.
Like you feel this pressure to like land it because there's going to be someone on your ass if you don't. In the best of ways.
Yeah.
And like it's all, every person there is like someone that you know, and like it's all friends.
Passion,
and,
dude.
like, yeah,
Lot of
It's the
passion.
best.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for making it happen.
I love that place for sure, and I'm so stoked to be a part of it. It's like it's always a gratifying feeling being there.
Let's make sure we're getting all the questions that everyone submitted. Before we do that, I have some questions left from myself to you. What's up with the headphone company?
Headphones. We're making the headphones now. It's called Heads. It's still we're still getting ready to drop them.
Sick.
I've been working with Kaiser to make boxes, and we're probably gonna drop them pretty soon here. We're just waiting on another order of headphones. I have a few.
Do we have pricing that we can leak? Or
I
yet.
don't know.
What,
I mean,
shaking out the
inspired the
details.
headphone company?
Kind of honestly, I mean, I've just been a big fan of headphones for a while, like my whole life, but I really started wearing them again like last year, and I was kind of going through like trying different headphones, and then I was just like, it'd be cool to do a headphone company. And Oscar, my good buddy Oscar Weary, who's also from Wilsonville and pro skier, he was like, yeah, we should do it. Like, let's start a headphone company. And he works with me at Mountain Summer Ski Camp, so we were like, we could like slang them to the kids. We could slang them on the hill in the summertime.
sick.
And like, he's got a lot of friends in skiing. I got a lot of friends in snowboarding, so it's like should work pretty well, hopefully. But yeah, the company got inspired when I was in Mammoth last spring. We were all just saying like heads a lot. Like we were saying like heads are saying that the hill sucks
Like
today.
people-
or whatever.
yeah, people are
like,
saying this.
Heads
Yeah,
are saying
heads are
this. Heads are
saying
saying that.
Yeah.
And then like basically I was like, heads are saying like we might start a headphone company. and then it just started. Yeah, I don't know. Went from
Sick.
there. But yeah, my buddy Derek drew the logo, and yeah, we just kind of. I mean, we've been doing R&D. These things are great. They're
Good
waterproof.
decibel usage in there.
Great,
A lot of
yeah.
people are repping at the rope toe.
Yeah, and they've been holding up. Like I've been out there in the pouring rain, and they're technically like supposed to be water resistant, but I've been testing that, and they're like very water resistant.
There you go.
So,
That's it.
What's the number one played artist for your heads?
Mac Dre for
Mac
sure.
Dre?
Oh,
All
there
right.
you go. That's
Yeah.
a sick one.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Get your head soon.
yeah. They'll be available soon.
bump the Mac
Heads.24
Dre.
on Instagram is the account.
It's funny because
Heads.24.
Morgan got a pair that looks somewhat similar right when you guys all started rocking them, and she showed up to the hill
like,
wearing
"What
them,
the
and then
fuck?"
everyone else is wearing the same one. She was like, "What the fucking? I can't wear these anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just bad talking about it."
Yeah.
So we'll have to get some heads.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that-
yeah.
And then she's just
Yeah.
with
So-
everyone.
You
So
wear
we-
headphones?
So as soon as it drops,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
know, and we'll
I will.
support.
I will. Yeah,
Get some for the
sure.
podcast here too. 'cause
Yeah,
it
I'd love to
seems
sponsor
work.
the podcast.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they work great. I mean,
No, music and
I like the
snowboarding is
over-ear
just-
ones too. Like it's better. You aren't losing. I can't tell you how many AirPods I've lost, but I can tell you that
Yeah.
all of them have been in the snow.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
over-ears, you just like pop one off, you pop it back on.
So,
yeah, I
are
like
they-
wearing them like kind of.
They're
like
more
that,
comfortable
or-
than the
they
Skull
Bluetooth
Candy
too?
icons.
Yeah, these are Bluetooth, but you can
Sick.
also
Cord 'em up.
Cord them up, yeah.
Oh.
So you don't need to
Battery
charge them.
charge.
Leash 'em.
If you're dead, you can just use your aux cord.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Then,
be on the
The
lookout.
battery
Spin
life
around,
is
jumping.
insane on them too.
Yeah.
They last like 40 hours of playtime.
Damn.
Fuck
And they
yeah.
charge in an hour.
Stay on your head while you're.
Stay on my
jiggling
head
around.
pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to develop like a headpiece, like a strap.
There you go.
Do you have any sponsors currently?
Yeah, I got
Who we shouting out?
Dinosaurs Will Die. Shout out to Jeno. Modest Eyewear, Pete from
Great glasses.
Australia. Yeah, great company.
Got a couple pairs. I love
Salmon
those.
Arms. Shout out to Nick Harenga. Union gives me bindings like once a year, so shout out to Riley and Batwing, of course. My buddy Jack Reed. He keeps my head covered
Heads?
in hats
Count
all the
it.
time. And then Heads, yeah.
Count it.
I guess Heads. I wouldn't call it a sponsor, but
You're
yeah.
the owner.
Yeah. Those are my sponsors, I believe. I don't think there's any I'm forgetting. I am also about to start kind of writing for this company, Light Strike, and
I haven't heard that before.
it's
What is that?
awesome. It's a hard refresher. It's it's coconut water and alcohol and
In a plastic bottle.
Wait,
I've never seen
what?
alcohol in a plastic bottle
yeah,
before.
yeah. It's non-carbonated, gluten-free.
With a label like as the food label on it too.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Haven't
pretty
seen alcohol with
awesome
that before.
stuff. I just kind of found this company
What
and
kind of
they're
alcohol is
awesome.
it?
That looks like that would pass the
you wanna try
pullover test. Just saying.
Yeah, it probably would.
definitely.
I was buying them this morning, and I was sipping one, and Nate was like, "Hey, it looks like you're drinking Gatorade."
It is Gatorade, baby.
Not encouraging.
But yeah, shout out Light Strike as well.
That's sick.
Wait, where? How, you're getting sponsored by them or something?
Yeah, yeah,
How the fuck do you do that? That's awesome. You just
ju-
kind of like hit them up, or they hit you
yeah,
up?
yeah. I hit them up because
Nice.
I saw they just kind of started selling them, and
Yeah.
they're like, it's like a brand new thing. It's new.
They're in Chevron too, I think I saw
Yeah,
them.
New Belgium Brewing is the company, but
Okay.
But yeah,
Fuck yeah, they sponsor podcasts.
yeah. Shout out to Light Strike, man.
Light Strike.
Hard refresher.
Dude, shout outs for
It's refreshing.
shout outs for making finals in the what was it? The check the feed best trick.
Oh, dude,
Oh
yeah.
no, I have it written down. It was check the feed round 3 matchup between you and O'Reilly Auto Parts
Yeah,
official.
that was
he was going
that was
switchboard, change up to front board, 2 out, and you nose press through the quad kink.
Yeah.
Fucking the most pressed nose press I've seen through a quad kink.
All right,
too.
who voted for who?
There's no tap on that.
I don't even blame anybody for voting for Diff. I knew
I don't think I voted. I think I think I had
protested?
to. I had to like. I'm like, yeah, because I was like, fuck you for doing this. Man.
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
Why you
That
guys
was whack.
the boys
That
against
was
each
whack.
other?
That should have been the final.
I
Yeah.
thought
Sure.
that was gonna come down to the final,
I
and
thought
then
so, too.
and then like I was okay.
Stage 'em on different
I knew
sides
I
of
was
the
gonna
bracket.
lose. I knew I was gonna lose to Diff eventually, but I was hoping it was gonna be in the finals because
Yeah.
then I still would have. I think I still would have gotten like $250 or something, and I ended up buying an Icon Pass anyway. But I was really hoping to get that Icon Pass. That would have been
Hell
sick.
yeah.
Has Riley used it?
We'll
I
have
haven't
to
seen him
ask
on
him.
Ilya this year. I know
We'll
he's
have to
got a
ask
lot
him.
going
I
on.
hope he's using it. I hope
Proud
he's using
homeowner.
it. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, respect. That was fucking heinous.
Thanks. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone, I think it was Justin, asked, what was the. Oh, he's like, who has the best nose press of all time? And then I want to know, what's your secret to a good nose press? What do you think
okay.
about cruising into it?
Just full commitment. Like you can't be scared. That's like that. It's different with whatever board you're riding because every board has like
That
point.
pinch point.
Yeah, and like if you're really feeling good on a board, you can like get into that point where you're just barely not over the bars, but you're like locked in. That's what I'm always trying to get to. But that board was pretty soft at the time.
Is that
and
camber board or is that
It was a camber board. Yeah,
hybrid?
it was a Matt Heaton Pro model.
Fucking heavy press on camber.
Sick board. Yeah,
Rocked.
they don't make it anymore. Actually, it was a shape that they stopped doing, but awesome board. I think the best nose press. Fuck man. What I mean, there's a few, but Ben Billock definitely like has some of the best for sure over his time. I feel like he's probably my favorite. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else who's done a crazy one.
Honestly, if I think of like ones that come to mind, that yours is like the gnarliest. You had a gnarly one in the summertime too, didn't you? You got nose press fronty out of the
Yeah.
camber.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think that was Leif's trick of the summer.
That was Leif was asking me to do a front flip like all year, and I was like, I'll
just know
do
you
one at
hate
some
them.
point. Yeah, I don't hate them honestly. I love.
It's a crowd pleaser.
I love
Yeah, they're
front
just a-
flips.
they're
It's
kind of
very
a
like
gimmicky trick. It's a
non-skateboarding
gimmicky-
inspired,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
It's like a borderline like
hardcore.
I mean some
It's
people
the
might
most man bun trick.
some people might call it illegal. Some people might call it an illegal
Especially on a
trick.
rail.
But especially out of a rail,
But
like
on that
people.
feature, it was sick because it was like a jump.
Yeah, and I mean,
No,
I don't know.
not.
It was just asking
It was the
for it, dude.
it was the aesthetically pleasing trick for the feature.
I thought about doing that trick on that feature for years, and I just never.
That 450 you
Respect.
did was sicker though.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was.
That
I
was,
was proud of that one.
Oh yeah, I
That
didn't
was
ask.
real
How's
nice.
how's coaching summer camp?
I love coaching summer camp.
You're coaching-
dude. Oh, it's the best.
Mount Hood summer ski camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mount Hood
you
summer
guys-
ski
How many
camp.
summers you got under your belt?
4 or 5.
All coaching
4 or
there?
5. Not all coaching. I actually started in the kitchen, and then
Okay.
I coached the first year I was in the kitchen, but I only coached like 2 weeks, and then I got a couple years coaching now, and then.
Have you coached at High Cascade as well?
No, but I am coaching for Lincoln High School as well this year. So
Oh, sick.
shout out to Lincoln snowboard team. And yeah, I mean, coaching, I'm slowly getting more into just wanting to be a coach, honestly, because it's
Sick to push up the next generation.
It's so
It's rewarding
infectious.
forever.
Like being around kids that are stoked about learning new tricks. It like gets me out of the ruts of like doing the same tricks, you know? And like sometimes when I'm just like when I'm not as stoked to go boarding in the summertime, like going boarding with the kids just fires me up. And then
Yeah.
like at the end of the day I get like an hour or so to board in the park, and I'm like it's you know, being up there all summer, sometimes the motivation levels aren't as high, but like being around the kids helps so much, and it just like makes me want to keep
Are
coaching.
you guys rocking Hike Park only still in the?
No, we actually use the FTC now, so
Okay.
we were in the same
That's
zone
okay.
as High Cascade, which is kind of sick because like MHSSC back in the day used to be I mean, it was awesome having our own lane, and I missed that for sure. But at the same time, that's like why we got so many of the rails at Ski Bowl, because we don't have that anymore. And now it's like a level playing field between us and High Cascade, where like our kids might not have the same campus, I guess, as High Cascade. Like they definitely have a better skate park and all that. But I mean, most of the kids who come to MHSSC just want to skate a mini ramp anyway. And like we have a mini ramp, we have a trampoline, and we ride the same parks as High Cascade. And it's like,
And who's their coach? It's yourself.
it's me.
It's Leif.
It's Leif. And then for the skiers, it's like Oscar, Mozzie, and Andy Perry and Will Weston, like
Damn.
big pro skiers.
heavy.
Yeah.
And like Brantley Mullins was also a snowboard coach.
Macalou.
So yeah, we got really good coaching staff, and also a lot more hands-on experience, I think, at MHSSC than the other camps, because we're in smaller groups. And like I see those guys pull up to the hill, they have like 15 kids and they don't know where half of them are,
Like
half
per
the time.
coach?
You know, like it's hard to.
Oof.
No, I'm talking like with the other camps. It's like
Okay.
really hard for them to.
What's your guys' group size typically?
Usually, it's no more than like to one person. We usually don't have more than like 5.
That's a good
So
ratio.
so it's like, yeah. I mean,
5's prime, 8's max.
eight's
Can't do
eight's
any more
max,
than
yeah.
max.
And I mean,
You just
even
can't keep
with
track of them.
8, like I've had
I think
had
that's what
8
Camp
before.
Max is out as 8.
I've had 8 before one week, and it was, or I had like
I might be
7,
misquoting. I don't know.
but it's too hard when you have that many kids too, because they're all different age or different like skill levels, and like coaching them all at the same time is really hard when you have that many. So it's nice being in a smaller group and having them like kind of on the same skill level where you can get them all on one feature. And
Yeah.
New Chaz wants to know, who's your favorite Mount Hood summer ski camper from this
dude.
last summer?
From last summer?
Maybe an all time. Maybe. from
Oh,
this
yeah,
last
all
summer.
time is this kid named JJ. sickest camper ever. JJ, what was his last name? JJ Robinson. But last summer, there was a kid named Jake Benner. I just posted a clip of him, like, in the intro of that edit I made. He says, like, his favorite website's definitely mounthood.com. That kid was super
Yeah,
sick.
he progressed a lot.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites. There was a kid named Jude Brooks who was really sick. Man, all time, I think it's just JJ. JJ is the man. This kid was so sick. He was like,
He wasn't there last year.
no,
right?
he wasn't there last
Oh,
year,
okay.
but yeah, I'd say Jake Benner last summer.
Fucking A. Respect. Shout outs.
Yeah.
Well, let's rip through the questions here from. We have a lot.
Yeah,
So
let's
I'm
go.
gonna
Let's go.
hit you hot take
Let's
style.
go. Let's go. Rapid fire.
Connor Carroll wants to know, what was it like doing farm project trips? We already asked that. Oh, but he also asked, what was the favorite trick you've ever done? He knows that there's been a lot.
Favorite trick I've ever done? Oh. Dude, probably that nose press, honestly. It
looks
doesn't get much
satisfying.
better than that. That felt pretty damn good. I think I'll go with that one.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. LZAB wants to know, when can we buy a spring rope tow pass?
Oh.
That,
There
yeah,
it
like I
is.
said, we are. That's in the works. Hopefully
Right
this
now
year.
you can get $35 rope tow ticket,
Yep.
which is a pretty good deal.
Yep,
Not bad.
$35. Great deal. You can't
Thank
beat
you guys for
it.
doing that.
Yeah.
AV Dren, might be botching your name, wants to know the release date on the heads.
Yeah, release date on the heads is to be determined.
For Skylar
go,
and
let's go.
at Brian both asked, does your mom love this?
My mom does love this. Yeah.
Yeah, is your mom gonna listen to this?
Yeah, she will.
will?
She
All
will
right.
for sure. She loves this.
Shout out, Mom.
Yeah, my mom definitely loves it. She
Shout
comments
out to
on-
Mama Griff.
Look for her in my
Great
comments.
choice in naming too. I like that she named you after King Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Respect. Was she Seattle local? Or?
No,
Just
but
fan
she
of the
did live in
Mariners?
Seattle for a while. It's kind of a long story, but
Do you have a brother named Ichiro?
I had a brother.
Ichiro's after Ken Griffin.
Yeah.
go Edgar.
Well, it's
No.
younger brother.
Yeah, Edgar.
It's funny. I mean, it's a long story, but basically, I had a brother pass away before I was born who was super into the Mariners and baseball.
Sorry.
It's all good. But so when he passed away like a few months before I was born, and Ken Griffey was like, just kind of like, I mean, it was when he was like really popping off, I guess,
Yeah.
like his second year or whatever. And they were gonna name me Griffey, but they named me Griffin because the brother who passed away, his name was Brandon, and then my other two brothers are named Martin and Keegan. So they were like,
Keep
we gotta
it
have it
with
end
it,
with an
yeah.
N. Yeah, but that's why I got named Griffin, was after Ken Griffey Jr.
And everyone just still calls you Griffey.
Yeah.
So it all
Shout
worked
out to
out.
Mama Griff,
Yeah.
keeping the legacy going, and
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah, love you,
Um,
Mom.
Much love all around. What we got here? Bull Troll and Dirty Mike both want to know what's your favorite grab and what's your favorite jib on Mount Hood?
Favorite grab, I'd say just an indie nose bone. And
Tuck in the knee.
yeah, favorite
stink
jib
bugs.
on Mount Hood. Are we talking like
Anything.
Yeah. Man, fuck, dude. There's like, I mean, the Batwing box has got to be like.
That's a
really-
hard question.
Yeah, I mean the
That's a
Batwing
hard
box.
one to answer.
I think as far as
Maybe if
park
we went
features,
regionally, you know?
we're talking park.
Timberline, Ski Bowl.
Yeah, okay. Timberline, the skinny donkey. That's the only one that's still around.
Satisfying.
The only OG that's still around and is still kicking. The Batwing box at Ski Bowl.
Sick.
The missile is definitely up there.
Sounds just special.
And then
can't
as
believe we
far
have
as
that.
like jibs, like in the, around the
Street
area,
spots.
that rail at the golf course in Welch is the sickest.
Have you done that?
I front boarded like from the second or from the beginning of the first elbow. So like, you know, it has
Yeah,
the
where you
long-
kind of set up
Yeah.
the cheater lip, like
Yeah,
the spot to set up the
well,
lip
like
kind of
you
thing.
hit like the one elbow
Yeah.
basically instead of the two elbows
Oh, okay.
because you had to like we had to use that part of the hill for speed. We didn't have a
Yeah.
bungee or anything, so we just like built a drop in right there at the top of the rail, and then yeah, you hit like the first elbow to the long down. I
had some
actually
frustrating days
actually
on that rail.
front boarded that. I front boarded that rail first try one time, and
yeah.
there's a clip of it. It's like on an iPhone. I think Connor's girlfriend filmed it at the time, and it was like we pulled up, I laced it, and then I couldn't get it for the rest of the day. I was like trying.
about right.
Classic battle rail.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm happy
Oh,
that we have a good battle rail that gets like
That one's
snow
sick.
annually.
I'd say
It's
that's
nice to
like
pull
the
up to.
sickest spot on
Yeah.
Mount Hood for sure.
You gotta nose press it.
Yeah, that would be dope. From the top would
Yeah,
be
that'd be
real.
sick.
Yeah, Connor was trying to. I think he 50'd it all the way from the top, and
It's-
then I think he was trying to front board it all the
Dude.
way. I filmed him a couple days
It goes
there.
so
I was trying
fast,
to board slide
like-
it from the
yeah.
top,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
you're cooking.
You're
By the
cooking,
time you
like,
come
even
into,
on
like,
that- even-
those
He was
lanes.
looking pretty good on it. Connor was
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
pretty close
if
on
anyone
it.
could do it, you know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be him.
This was
Yep.
a couple years ago too.
What else we got?
All right, we got Zeke Shreds wants to know what's your favorite thing about the rope toe.
All the people that come to it, the whole scene.
Ari wants to know what has the progression of ski bowl rope toe looked like to you from the years, and how has it changed into Instagram?
How has it changed Instagram?
When I first read that, I was kind of like, it hasn't changed Instagram. But then I was thinking about it,
We're
like,
changing
it kind of,
Instagram.
It kind of has a little bit, like
I
for
don't- I
Mount
don't
Hood,
see
as
any
far as
clips
like
on Timberline or Meadows.
Yeah, we're
I
running
hardly see
circles
any
around
clip.
it.
Yeah,
facts,
That's-
like
yeah.
the tricks that you see dropping from there are the best rail tricks.
way
you
back
see.
I
every
think
year.
I think that's
the
just because of how much talent there is around that place and like running
Connor
that.
2 on, Pretz 2 off on the quad. Like,
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, I've been running that Instagram since the fall, and I've done that for a few different companies or whatever over the years, and that is the easiest page you could ever like
because
anyone.
everyone's tagging.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, it's just like an endless stream of content.
It is
and,
a clip factory.
yeah, and it's so easy to just like go through, repost everybody, like respond to whatever messages there are. It's usually like when's the rope opening, and that's why we post the times every day.
I haven't
But,
even been filming the last couple times I go there because I'm like, why am I going to post this? Any trick I'm going to do has already been done by someone here, and anybody that I want
personal
to
progression.
see
Yeah.
my like want to show off tricks to is already here in person ready right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So I'm like, let's just enjoy it with everyone,
Yeah.
which is kind of been
That's
great.
a sick. I mean, it just feels
It's
like
a
you're at
full
the skate
circle.
park. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
dope.
very skate
I think like the progression.
Although today we have to go there and get an edit for the.
yeah,
the
yeah.
Are you coaching today?
No, I'm
You're
Oh,
boarding.
there it
We're
is.
going the rope
yeah,
top.
yeah, we're boarding.
There it is.
But yeah, no, I think like progression of the rope over the years, just seeing like how much it's changed, like you said, from like the box era to like those first couple years that we were working there, like 2018 or 20. I think the first year I worked there was 2016, 17, and then yeah, like I mean now it's been 10 years almost, but.
The constant progression's been awesome.
It
and like
really-
even the last 2 years, like right from opening day, like the setup has been like full bore.
So
It seems
sick.
like it used to kind of take a little bit, like you kind of had to
it was a
warm up
real-
to the year.
real
You'd start off
preseason
with a
setup.
soft opening,
Yeah.
but now it's like
Well,
full bore from day
that's
one.
partly because of management being a lot more on board these days. It's also, we got to shout out Hunter
Yeah.
and Dab for really like getting it off the ground.
How many hours of his personal time do you think Hunter
Oh
has
my
put
God,
into the
dude.
rope?
Hunter-
Unpaid.
Hunter is Gary Busey, man. Hunter is a slave to that place, but so am I. And I mean, I love him for it. I think I wouldn't be able to do it without him.
Yeah.
And I think that he's the main, like, if you could give credit to anybody in particular for the whole progression of the place, he is the biggest proponent, because he's built so many new rails, and he was scavenging up all the rails from MHSSC.
He was
when
supposed to be on the
just all
episode
of
today,
W.
but he's doing snowmaking and driving the cat.
So he's working.
Yeah,
He's working
he was in
at
the cat
Ski
all
Bowl. He
night
couldn't be
last
here.
night. Yeah.
Respect. We'll have to
no,
get him when the season ends.
That dude is the man, and
Yeah.
everybody who rides Ski Bowl needs to give him his flowers. For
Also
sure.
the
That
yard
dude is-
too. All those rails.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
yard is
Fucking
all him as well.
Can't be contained to one resort.
Yeah.
He's like, he just makes
He's a
stuff
machine,
happen,
dude.
man. And I mean, like I said, we wouldn't be able to do it without him.
Yeah.
He really is like the driving force, and I mean, I wouldn't be able to run the place if it wasn't for that guy, man.
Shout outs.
So shout out to Hunter.
The engineer.
Life.Levin said, how long did you live in Govey? We kind of.
I lived in Govey. Well, before I moved to Salt Lake, I lived in Govey for 5 years.
And kind of on the same note, Space Case wants to know, why are you the greasiest fuck on Mount Hood?
That because he moved away.
Shots fired.
Perfect answer.
At Hot Tub wants to know, what's up with them crawdaddies?
What's up with them crawdaddies? Oh, dude. It's a good question. I don't know yet.
Episode 2.
At Marshall wants to know, what happened to the Hornets jacket?
Dude, I still got it. Hornets jacket's on ice. I had to retire the thing. It was so dusty, but I mean, I still got it.
Quarter Zip Fleece says, remember destroying a red SUV and getting into no trouble, or
Yeah.
never getting into trouble. for
Yeah,
it.
that's a great story. We first car that ever got destroyed in Govey, I think, during the whole car destruction era. It was like parked outside the Summits, right outside Building 1. It was. Did you ever meet that dude Brady with the beard? He used to work. I think he was before your time, but you might have met him. Brady Clack. He's a big, tall dude. He used to work. Anyway,
Oh, that sounds familiar.
it was his car, but he like never registered it, and then he left it, and like it sat in the best parking spot in the Summits for like 2 years, and
Damn.
we like eventually one day we just snapped. We were like, man, fuck this
this
car,
thing.
dude. It's just like, and there's never parking in the parking lot, and it's in the best spot, and it's like just sits there. So we like hit him up, and we're like, yo, do you care about this car? Like, are you coming back for this car ever? And he's like, no, man, like, you guys can do whatever you want with that.
Like, oh,
And then
shit.
we just were like, fuck this car. We just like destroyed it right in front of the house, like in the Summits, just broke the shit out of this car, like took a baseball bat to it and everything. And then,
Focus the
remember
SUV.
this.
yeah, and then, and like there's clips of Riley, like snowboarding on like this Target,
Yeah,
like
oh,
plastic
yeah.
snowboard.
In the sandwich
Yeah,
edit,
it's in one of the
yeah.
it's in the first one of the first
It's in
sandwich
the
edits.
sandwich church edit.
Yeah, but so we destroyed the car, and then like our landlord at the time was like, you guys got to get this car off the property, or else you're evicted like in the next 24 hours if you don't get this car off the
Damn.
property. And it was fucked because like we didn't have keys. It was a automatic, so it was like really hard to get it
Couldn't
into
even push
neutral.
it.
Yeah.
And luckily one of our
some
roommates,
tricks.
Evan, like knew some tricks. Yeah, figured out how to get it into neutral, and we basically like hooked a chain to it, towed it like going up towards Building 2, so that it was like pointed down, and then we just
let
like
it go.
unhooked it and let it go, and then like rolled it just across the road, and it like sat there for maybe like an
Just
hour.
lived across the Chev. from
Well,
the
it was
Chev.
right across the road, like from the Summits, just like
Okay,
parked
yeah,
all
yeah.
fucked. And then like ODOT pulls up within like an hour and
Gone.
moves it to like the top of town, just like right there to be towed later.
Yeah.
And then it just sat there for like 2 weeks, and it got fucked up because it was
Even
just
more.
sitting. Yeah, because it was just sitting in front of like it was sitting like by the cherry stand,
Sick.
like where the cherry stand
Yeah.
would be. And yeah, that we didn't get in any trouble. That's crazy. We got it off the property, and she was just like, "All right, never mind. You guys are fine."
There we go. Had a
It
good
was
time.
like cool word.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
All allegedly.
Man, first
Yeah.
car, first
Allegedly, we destroyed that car.
Quarter Zip Fleece also quoted you saying, always take your boots off before taking a mole.
That's true. That's very
I
true.
can see why.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd sit there and get stuck in stanky
I used to
boot
fall
zone for a
asleep
couple
in my
hours.
boots, dude.
I still do that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I don't take moles anymore, but when I was taking moles back in the day, I would definitely fall asleep in my boots and wake up at like 3 a.m. My ankles would hurt so bad.
Damn it.
Dude, yeah, the worst.
That should be a contest we should do. Who has the most, like, just jacked feet?
I love wearing my boots though. I wear my boots a lot. I actually the other day, like, I was putting shoes on, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! I haven't put shoes on in like 3 weeks, like, because I just go to skee ball every day. Like, I don't even, I didn't even know where my shoes were, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
I need to like
respect.
go back to real life and get my shoes on."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Front board wants to know, what's your favorite snowboard video?
Burning bridges.
Proper. Paul Blart Ball Cop says, long jump this summer?
Yeah, long jump's coming back.
How do you guys do the long jump? Is this on
Dude,
flat or is it off of
it's
a
a
cat track?
It's wherever we can do it. Usually we do it like right at the top of Palmer, like on the as far out as you can go. And if it's not there, then it's like somewhere on Palmer. But we basically just build like a little tiny like rail lip, like a 6-inch high jump, and we'll get the kids up there and be like, all right, whoever goes the longest gets a prize. And then we'll give out
awesome.
We'll give out prizes anyway, but like, I don't know, we had to kind of like stop doing it for a little while because it's an unsanctioned event for sure. Timberline's like not signing off on this, and
Just lawn darting kids
and
down
like
Palmer.
I mean, like, we're not even building a jump really, so it's
Yeah.
not like, I mean, it's no bigger than like the moguls or
Yeah.
whatever, but kids were definitely sending and like getting
Yeah,
a
some
lot of
forms are
air.
going to have to get filled out eventually on that one.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
we had to kind of pause the long jump, but I think we got to bring it back because the kids every week are like, all the kids that come back
Yeah.
to camp every year, they're like, what's up with the long jump? Like, long jump
guys
on
have-
Friday, right?
Yeah, they want
It's
it.
always like last day on hill, we do the long jump.
Did you guys ever measure it? Like,
Dude, one kid went like 60 feet
Holy
2 years
shit.
ago. I have a clip. The kid like almost flew into the rocks because he went so deep that like when he was turning out of it, he's just like mobbing
mode,
and like
yeah.
yeah, it was pretty scary. I mean,
60
fourth
feet?
year
Holy
pick.
yeah, he went
shit.
60 feet. We were like measuring it out, and Caden had the record for a while, and then this kid broke it.
Damn.
Is he a skier or snowboarder?
Skier. Yeah.
I'll have to let you borrow the rangefinder that day.
Yeah.
Pull
That would
up
be
looking
What
official.
Caden go?
Caden went like 50 something.
50.
Yeah.
But
Still, though.
good on you guys for making camp a good time.
Yeah, camp is the best. Sign up at mounthood.com.
Can you guys, can they request a coach or is it
I will be
they
your
just
coach.
get you no matter what?
I mean, it'll either be me or Brantley Mullins, so you're getting a
Fuck yeah.
you're getting a good coach either way.
it is.
Or
You
Makaloo.
you guys
Maybe
looking
Makaloo.
for people
Hell
this
yeah.
summer? What's up? I'm
Possibly. If we, I
I'm
mean,
trying
depending
to-
on what the numbers are
trying to
looking
hang out
like.
with the boys more.
I know,
yeah.
I know, for sure Brantley's coming back, so I know.
I miss coaching.
Yeah, coaching is the shit.
It's satisfying.
It's the best.
All right, moving down the list. Oz16 Burns says, what's your preferred board setup?
I usually
Slash,
run.
what's your current setup?
Yeah, my current setup is Dinosaurs Will Die Meteor board, and it's or Meteor, I think is actually how you say it, and it's a 155, and I run about a 22 to 23 inch stance, and my angles are 6'6", 6-6.
Respect. Same. I said new bindings up last night.
Same.
I forgot what I was at. I looked down, 6, -6.
Yeah.
my
Dude, it used to
back
be
up.
insane. Back when
Yeah.
I was like just trying to
18,
be
18.
Howdor, it was like 18.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like my
Definitely.
knees still
That
are
can't be
fucked
good.
from that.
Yeah, no, they can't be good. Yeah,
But
it's
you learn
Route
how to lock
66.
into
You don't
some
need
rails
tendons.
comfortably with it, I guess. Cam's camera wants to know beverage of choice.
Oh, Light Strike. Hell yeah.
My ankles are broken. Asks, what's your beverage of choice on the bus?
Lights
Light Strike. Yeah, Light Strike. Gotta love it.
Yeah, make sure the logo faces up.
Hard refresher.
Lukey wants to know what's the most tries to get a clip. What clip is taking the most tries? Or maybe just a notable battle.
Damn. I don't like to battle much, man. I don't know.
Not a battler?
These days,
Is that just because you don't have to?
I just
Like, does it normally
Ooh,
come pretty
ultimate
easy kind of
flex.
thing?
no, I don't want to flex like that. I think I just like these days I don't
If you're on that rope that much, you know, you might not have to battle. You're just keeping the sword sharp. It's
I just
there
like
when you reach for it.
And I'll switch. Like if I'm really like struggling, I'll switch
To something else.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way to do it. Like, do you guys know Roller Surfer?
Yeah.
Ben, what's his last name? Starts with a K.
Ben Copel.
Yeah, amazing
Fucking
dude.
legend.
The most creative skater. And he said it one time. He was
Seattle
at camp
legend.
and he's like, you got to skate like jazz. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you don't plan it. You just like, whatever you're thinking about, just do it right there. And like, you're thinking about it because you're set up to do it.
That checks out.
Like your body's ready for it. So it's
Yeah.
like, if you're not feeling it, it's not coming. Don't force it. Just do what you're feeling instead.
Yeah, watching that dude skate in real life is fucking insane.
Which is easier said than done when you're like battling for a trick.
Yeah.
It's,
When you
it's
only,
hard to
when you
step
only have
away.
like 3 tricks, you know.
I got something.
You got a bunch
about the whole battle. Honestly, this is something that Connor told me that Scott told him, but it's a good. I really adopted this. When you're battling a trick, you want to think about every time you're going to do it. Think about it like it's your first try. Like pretend it's your first try every time, because that way, like once you start getting into a battle and you start like second guessing yourself or like thinking about
get
it too
stuck
much,
in this rut.
then you start like fucking up. But if you just like you're saying, like just do what's on your, don't like let your brain go blank. If you can like find your way to get into that flow state, I think the idea of like pretending
Just
it's your
coming at it with
first
a
try.
clear, fresh canvas every time.
Yeah, just like I don't know, do whatever you have to do to distract yourself for a second, like at the rope or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just drop in and pretend it's your first lap. And you'll like that works for me. Like I'll lace something if I think that it's my first try, even if it isn't.
Dude, did you hear that the Olympic teams have flow drones?
Flow drones?
I was listening to like
that
the bomb
mean?
was talking about. Like
does
they
that
have
mean?
like these drones. Like there's I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently there's like a thing you wear and it senses like your neural patterns or something. And
What
when
the
you're in a
fuck?
state of flow, like the drone floats up, like a little mini helicopter.
Yeah.
And like you're just trying to get the thing to stay in the air, like some Jedi shit.
Whoa,
They
like
talked
the
about it.
Force, dude.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Whoa,
I like
what?
that. I
It
like
sounds like
that.
some crazy ass mental training.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that shit out, man.
Or you just ride the rope for 5 hours
Yeah,
every
it's
day.
just snowboarding. Not that deep, guys.
Yeah, I'm
It just sounds like a
Not
fun
that
little
deep.
video game, you know?
trying to get my brain in tune with that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Bro, that brain.
All right, what else we got?
What do we got? Pickle Mange says, "Eat yo pretzels." That was your old
Eat yo
Insta handle.
pretzels, yeah,
When
yeah.
did you switch up?
I switched up a couple of times. I switched up. The first time Jack made me change my name to Skin Griffey Jr. I did that for a little while.
I do recall that. as well.
That was for a little while. Then it was back to Eat Yo Pretzels, and then I changed it to my mom's gonna hate this for this one post I made that she definitely didn't like. It
was it?
It was like the clips of us in Wenatchee at the Bull Project, like just
Partying.
getting kicked out of a bowling alley, and like I don't know, it wasn't anything crazy, but like she just didn't like
She
it.
didn't like it.
So I changed it to that, and then after, like shortly after that, I changed it to My Mom's Gonna Love This, because it was like ironic that it was My Mom's Gonna Hate This, but my mom comments on like every single one of my
Yeah.
posts. So I was like, I gotta change it to My Mom's Gonna Love This, and I think I found my forever Graham name.
Back to
It's
a
a
little
good
more
one.
wholesome vibe.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, I think that's my forever name. But Eat Yo Pretzels was
That was sick.
that was because I loved eating pretzels. Actually, it wasn't even because of the
Wasn't the
trick.
trick?
You
It
have
wasn't.
you have a good pretzel though.
Thank you. Yeah, back then I was doing them a lot, so that also kind of contributed.
What's the secret to a good front board pretzel? Because I'm trying to learn them. I'm old.
I
You know,
think
I feel like it's a
all in the
generational thing.
hips, man. It's all in the hips, like Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Like you
Yeah.
lock into your
It's
front
all
board,
in
right,
the
and then
hips.
you're like snapping the hips around.
I
It's
think
kind
you
of the
lock
vibe.
in
I'm
like
trying to learn it today.
I like to do it on
I've
my
done a
front
couple,
foot.
but not a good one yet.
You gotta like get on your front foot and then open this shoulder up and your hips all the way straight, and then like the biggest trick I
like
think
kind
is
of punching the other arm through a little
punching
bit.
the other arm helps, and like sucking your front foot. Like once you pop off, you gotta really like pop off and suck that front foot up as high as you can, because that like makes the rotation
Makes
come
it
around
look good.
with.
Suck-
Because
Well,
some
just, like-
people do it. It looks like this forced wet cat.
Yeah.
Like shot out of a
Like-
cannon, but some people.
But if you
make it
get
look
that
good.
foot up, that's how it like really whips around, and then it's easy to like set it down straight and not be like kind of like sliding.
I'm
or
gonna have to have you
shuffling it
coach me today on
Yeah.
the toe.
How much?
okay,
How much
go.
is the hourly rate for coaching?
around.
for Donovan.
For Donovan, it's free.
Yeah, you
We'll
can
do a
make some
work
money.
trade.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, final question we got for you is: do you believe in silent rock, and do you participate, and if so, why?
Oh yeah, I definitely believe in silent rock, man. I've had some bad things happen to me talking on silent rock. My first experience, actually, I was like 9 years old. My mom gave me $30 or $39. It was a ticket. That was how much it cost to buy a ticket to Meadows back then. And I was riding up with some friends' parents that I didn't really know that well, and I lost my money after I talked on silent rock.
Boom.
And I think I still probably think that like they thought I just didn't have money.
Yeah.
And then my parents just sent me up there without money, and like they had to buy me a
I
ticket.
just felt bad for you.
I was like, I swear I had $40. Like, I lost it. It might be in your car. I don't know. It's like, you know.
We might be even.
But yeah, that I do believe in silent rock, and I think everybody should practice that
There you
sure.
go.
That was
Yeah,
one
there
of the
you go.
King of the Mountain challenges was talk during silent rock. You think anyone did that?
No, I don't
Nah,
know.
no one went down there.
People do. I mean, like
No, people defy it.
Pete
Sure.
Semino, he does not believe in silent rock, and he loves to troll us. He loves to
Yeah.
like scream.
No, I believe.
So what's
You guys don't have to deal with campers going past it, right? Because you're coming from the other way.
But
There
they
you go.
they do the
We do-
picnic.
Yeah,
Okay, when you go down there.
we don't go with the kids though. The coaches don't ride with the kids to the picnic, so we don't have to deal with
Yeah,
that. But I know the bus driver, the counselors definitely do.
So what do you think the story is behind Silent Rock?
Oh, Tim Wendell jumping over it.
I love that. It's getting circulation. up.
amazing.
If you're the camper that told me that and you remember,
Yeah,
tag
I've
yourself
heard
or
that.
something,
I
'cause
heard
can't
that.
remember who did it.
I heard that
too.
for years, dude. Yeah,
okay.
Tim Wendell fucking did a switch
like it.
method over it.
Yeah. Little style to
Yeah.
it.
we'll have to
There it is.
we'll have to ask Tim. Get him
Yeah.
on for an episode eventually.
Get him on.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the first person looking to see if we're open. All right.
Might be.
There's usually one all the time.
Howdy.
All right. Well, while we're still in here recording, we need to have a scum of the week for this episode.
Oh hell yeah.
And I vote that we nominate Andy Glader.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Team MVP.
That or JoJo's eyebrows that are now gone.
Oh dude, yeah.
He's on Team
Shout out
Hood
to
Report,
JoJo,
so
man.
honorable mention.
Yeah, yeah,
Honorable
yeah.
mention.
Also, I saw someone sent me a video of JoJo and some young lady wrestling in front of Charlie's during the event.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. It looked like some casual high school vibe, flirting a little bit. You know what I mean?
Someone-
and then JoJo was low key getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And some crowd person comes over that definitely had some wrestling background,
Yeah.
started coaching him up, and he ended up
Coaching
being
him
victorious
up.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
Nice.
Got the stand up, got the escape, and ran away.
Yeah. Someone like stole his car keys and they're gonna fucking run off with them.
I see.
That's
I
what
see.
happened.
Okay.
But yeah.
Someone submitted that to the
Yeah.
gram.
There you go.
Yeah, shout out to Gladder House.
Dude.
Yep.
Dude is the best.
All right, Andy.
Congratulations. You are the scum of the week.
Congratulations, Andy. Thanks for all you
go,
did and all the
Andy.
points you put on the board for
Yeah.
Team Hood Report.
Hell yeah.
You're a
Hopefully we
king.
win.
He is the king of the mountain.
He is.
From our perspective.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the show we got for this week.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else before we close it up here?
Shout out Light Strike.
Shout out Light Strike.
Leif, you put out for people to put some to give Griff some shit here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone-
I think
anyone
they
submit
were
some-
all pretty.
Let's get it.
calm.
Let's
Nah,
get it.
they-
Let's get it. Come on, roast me.
no.
Just one.
Yeah, give me one.
Sadly, not.
Nobody roasted me, really?
Someone said the park sucks.
Yeah.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Oh,
Can you
there.
guess who it was?
Yeah, it was Kaiser.
Yeah. On brand.
Guaranteed.
So what do we got for upcoming events? We got Air Blaster board games.
Air Blaster Sculf.
Sculf, not the board games.
This Friday.
This
Yep.
Friday. We
Sick.
might be able to have this episode out by then, so it's probably going to be right about the time you're listening to this, or it just happened.
There's going to be an advanced and beginner division, right? Isn't that kind of how it goes?
Does it cost
Yeah.
money? What, like 10 bucks?
It's
15
free.
bucks?
Hell yeah.
Free.
And
Sick.
yeah, there's prizes. And yeah, we'll do
Leif
it.
and Lex were the judges last
Yeah,
year, weren't you?
We were. Aren't
We'll
I
do
remember
the-
board sliding while holding an egg on a spoon.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's
That might
fun.
have been 2 years ago, even.
We'll
I think it was 2 years ago.
Big Mike was here.
Yep.
Yeah, Big
or
Mike.
medium Mike or little Mike.
Yeah, we need a big speaker.
But we did do Sculf last year too.
We do need a speaker.
Big speaker.
Yeah, we got to get a
You want
speaker.
to have a big speaker you want to donate to the rope?
I think we do have one in there for now,
Sick.
but
Hell
it's
yeah.
not ideal. It would be nice to get a bigger
we
one.
need to get our Fetty Wap on.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for listening. Griff, thank you for being in here.
Hell
Thanks for
yeah.
having me.
I know we have skimmed the surface. You got a lot more that
it's
we
all
could have poured
good.
into,
It's
but
all good.
Bring
you're
him
a
back.
kick-ass dude.
Bring him
All
back.
smiles. Love having you on here. Thanks for all you do at the
yeah.
toe.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Everyone that does the toe, thank you.
Yeah.
Customers trying to come in, so
That's our
wrap it
cue.
up. Thank you to DGS. Great
Hell yeah.
event.
Yeah. More
Shout-
events coming.
More coming. What's the next one on the way?
Okay, real quick. If I remember right, I'm going to fuck this up.
Race to Rail?
No, we got the shit. Yeah, it goes Race to Rail,
What's the date on that? You know,
27th
of this month,
of
March.
this month.
All right.
And then the 31st, allegedly the fucking beer suit party for King of the Mountain. Then 420, we're gonna do the Easter egg hunt with all the beers per usual. Smoke a bunch of weed, and then do the jump jam.
Pumped.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be sick. We got a lot of shit coming, so.
A lot of good stuff in the works, you guys. We got
Stay
merch
tuned.
for the Hood Report dropping here soon.
Ooh.
Shout out to all local companies. Friday, Hood Girls, everyone out
Hood
there.
Heads.
Yeah, heads. Fuck yeah. All right, guys.
Light strike.
Yeah,
Light strike. We're gonna get out
Love
here.
this
We're gonna
hard
get on the road.
refresher, man.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you at the road.
Over and out from the Hood Report. Hit him with it.
Gone.
Man, yeah, you got
Griff, hit him with it.
Try these things on. Oh. Another certified hood classic.
Yeah.